The Opie and Anthony Show on XM 202, featuring Opie, Anthony, and James Norton.
Pissed off at us, man. We have nothing to do with this.
What? What is this?
Garbage! You know what? I can't take this anymore. It's an awful, awful radio show.
We're really, really mean-spirited, evil people who can't see the good in anything.
Off the air, let's say racist things to each other.
Hold on.
And really turn them off.
Excellence in broadcasting.
Our anus.
What? Again? Oh.
Our anus.
What?
Stop. Enough about the anus.
This is hurtful.
This is hurtful. No one wants to hear this on their radio show.
Come collapse on our floor.
It's just potty mouth day.
You may feel shame, but all the same, you are never to blame.
Opie. Anthony. Jim Norton.
You guys ready to laugh?
It's gotta be the greatest thing ever.
I'd sooner have a water drinking contest.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Hey, what's new?
Good morning.
You're listening to the Opie and Anthony Show. I gotta say, I'm kind of a loser.
What happened?
Kenny picks me up. I couldn't get in the office fast enough to tell Anthony my observation about the videotape and the shooter, whose name I don't feel like remembering.
I just call him Cho.
Cho?
I don't go through the whole 3-part name thing. Everyone knows who you're talking about when you just say Cho.
So I run down the hall into the office. I'm the last one in. Anthony's sitting there, and Travis and Sam and Dan and Steve in the other room. I burst through. I'm ready to tell everyone what this guy sounds like.
Yeah.
And they're already doing their Napoleon Dynamite impressions in the office.
Yeah.
I thought I had a doozy for everybody.
Yeah, well, when I walked in, they had already been talking about it in the office.
As well.
Oh, yeah. This is like... I think everyone figured this one out. The Virginia Tech shooter, in his multimedia manifesto, as they're calling it.
Oh, my God.
Absolutely.
They are. It's the ramblings of a madman.
His multimedia manifesto. He sounds like Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
God.
You can't even call him a madman. That's too good for him.
No,
it's the ramblings of a weirdo.
He's a weirdo who didn't get his own little way, who's jealous of people, and add this in with a liberal portion of being just psychotic, lunatic. But he's blaming, like, I guess the rich, the privileged. What? You're going to school with people. They go to school too, and you're a dopey kid. So he has no real life experience, his college experience, and he barely talked to anybody. So he's just a rambling lunatic that all the news organizations now are pawing over this, trying to find these little hidden meaning. What did he mean when he said this? Nothing. He's crazy. They're giving him some kind of, like, credibility.
Yeah, they're trying to... Yeah, exactly. There's really... The motivation is that he was just a weirdo.
A weirdo.
That maybe some bad things happened to him as he was growing up. But see, the mean face, he already killed a couple people.
I like mean face guy.
He already killed a couple people in that shot right there. So what happened? MSNBC, I have a real problem with NBC, MSNBC, and this is not a stretch whatsoever. They just had Steve Kappas, the news director or whatever his title is.
Steve Krappus?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I call him.
For NBC.
Thank you.
Now, you got to go back about a week and a half. And they fired Don Imus from MSNBC.
You're kidding.
Believe it or not, there's a connection between these two stories. So they fired Don Imus. And it's not about Don Imus, trust me, but I'm trying to make a point here.
Yes, it is.
Steve Kappas goes on TV and basically says, we had to fire Don Imus because what he did was very hurtful and very, very bad for society. And the integrity of the news department is at risk, and so he has to go. Even though Steve Kappas knew exactly what kind of radio show Don Imus did for his 40-year career, right? So you're sitting there like, why is this guy not telling the truth that he just can't make money off Imus anymore because of the controversy, and that's why he fired him? Has nothing to do with integrity in the as far as the news department and all that goes. Okay, so that happens last week. They get this package at NBC, right?
Yeah.
They couldn't wait to get it on the air. They couldn't wait. They ran down the hall. They're making copies.
Well,
Don't call the authorities until we got copies of everything. And then he's on TV last night going, we really struggled with this all day long. We weren't sure if we should air this on NBC. We weren't sure if we should give this to Brian Williams to do a piece on. Are you kidding me?
Dude, they're divvying it up and portioning it out to keep this rating string alive as long as possible. Here's what happened. The overnight mail delivery, whatever it was, I think it was just the U.S. Postal overnight, got this package to bring to NBC. The letter carrier noticed where it was from, saw the address on there. The return address didn't have his name on it, but it had that Ishmael thing that he writes. It was from Ishmael, and he saw the address, though, was from where all this happened down there in Virginia. So he brought it to the attention of NBC and said, look, I think this package might be from the kid that did this. So instead of calling the police, who might want to take special care in opening the package, you don't know what's in there. Could have been booby trapped.
Yeah, but just the idea that it might be from the shooter.
Right.
They were losing their minds.
Oh my God, they were all just probably pants down to their knees,
salivating. They couldn't wait to get into
on
that
themselves.
Package.
So they got, and they're justifying this on their show last night on all the news shows on NBC.
Yeah, we're getting some of these comments because I was watching going, you got to be kidding me.
They're justifying the fact that they called NBC security to open up this package. We worked at NBC for a little while during our XFL days.
Yeah.
You know what NBC security is? It's the guy that tells you what elevator bank to go to if you got to go up to like the 30th floor.
The guy,
third one on the right.
The guy you run into and you have to sign in before you go to the elevator banks.
So they were the ones that opened up this package, NBC security. They went through the materials, made copies of everything, which took a couple of hours.
Before they called the actual authorities.
And then they called the police.
Because I guarantee you, if you call the FBI right away, they're there. You don't have a chance to make copies.
Yeah,
they're not going to sit there and go, well, our guys are on lunch break. We'll be right over.
No, we want to make sure we get any forensic evidence we can off of this stuff. We can't be handling it like this. Not here at NBC. We're going to go to our lab in a nice sterile environment.
Yeah.
Where we can get maybe little things that are falling off of this package, whatever. But no, they just opened it up and made their copies because they knew that this was the ratings grabber.
They got gold because they did farm it out to all the other news organizations, but every news organization has to say where the tape was mailed to. NBC. Yep. Front page of all the papers, they got the picture of the guy with both guns in his hands, and you see like the NBC logo so tiny because they're going to sue. They're going to sue if you don't mention that this package was mailed to NBC, and then they they gave it out to Brian Williams. More clips are going to be played on the Today Show this morning.
They said they want to go through the clips to see what would be appropriate and stuff. Meanwhile, it's just an excuse to divvy it out so all of their various programs get new clips, and they could promo it by saying brand new clips of the killer on the Today Show.
And the point I'm trying to make, so with the Imus thing, the integrity of the news department, this is very bad for America, blah, blah, blah. And then they got this tape, and they couldn't wait to get it on the air. And it's so obvious. This would do so much more damage in this country than Don Imus saying what he did.
And why not comment on what a dick this kid is? Like, why don't the anchors, when Imus was up there in the news, when we were fired, they couldn't wait to just editorialize on what jackasses we were for doing what we did. But meanwhile, they report this kid. They got him there with his guns, just babbling like a little poor jealous idiot about the things he doesn't have and the privileged kids and wah. And instead of editorializing on that, they play it over and over again, doing exactly what this kid wanted, getting his face on the news, getting his word across, whatever that is, some lunatic ramblings, and showing how great this is, a great way to make yourself infamous for history.
Yeah, and NBC, they helped us right along. You played right into the killer's hands, and there will be copycat shootings almost immediately.
Oh, yeah, based on this.
So, just watch the damage you did by airing this video. And now, this is where I bring it all around. I think the video absolutely should be shown on TV, but I also think Mr. Imus there should be able to say whatever the hell he wants on his radio show. But to sit there and say, that what he did was harmful and then ignore how harmful this video is to be shown all over the country is completely ridiculous. Why don't you just say what's really on your mind? You couldn't make money with Imus anymore, so you got rid of him. There's no integrity in the news department. And you can make an S-load of money off this videotape, so you are going to give it to Brian Williams. You're going to give it to the Today Show, and you're going to just release little pieces for the next week or so. The ratings for MSNBC and NBC are going to be through the roof. I personally hate MSNBC because what they did last week. Of course, that's all I watched last night. Because I said, what, they mailed this to NBC? Of course they're going to have the best coverage.
You wanted to see the clips.
But to sit there and say that, there's integrity involved and all that, it's all about money. Now you got something that you can make a lot of money off and get a lot of ratings off. That's the only reason. And for Steve Kappas to sit there and say, blah, blah, blah.
Krappus!
We struggled with this decision all day and decided it really needed to be seen. You guys couldn't wait to get it on the evening news.
They love it. And if they wanted to do the right thing and have integrity and stuff, they would have called the cops. They would have called the FBI immediately and left that envelope sitting on a desk closed and said, you guys got to take care of this.
Yeah, they covered their asses. They had some very, very kind of shady explanation how they handled it. Like you were saying,
NBC Security. And then I heard him go, we had NBC Security, and many of these gentlemen are former law enforcement people. He actually said that to try to justify why a bunch of what amounts to rent-a-cops were opening up an envelope from somebody that killed 32 people in an atmosphere that is not conducive to collecting evidence that might be in or on that envelope.
Right. If you gave it to the authorities right away, that would not see the light of day.
No, you'd never see
soon.
it.
That would
never see
maybe
it.
Years down the road, like with the Columbine thing, I think they finally released some of that
grainy surveillance video.
They didn't release that 2 days after the shooting, 3 days after the shooting.
Meanwhile, it was an overnight package, and the dummy murderer there couldn't even get the zip code right.
Right.
Rockefeller Center. He wrote Rockefeller Lane or something like that.
Yeah.
Wrote the zip code wrong, so instead of it getting there the next day, it wound up getting there yesterday.
A couple days later.
Yeah.
So one of there's a guy who wrote a book on this. He's an expert on these type of guys and violence, and he said, his name is Gavin DeBecker, and he said that the worst thing you can do is show this type of video.
Of course.
They shouldn't have showed the video because it's not really, it's some scumbag making a home video. It's like showing suicide bomber videos when they're over in Israel.
Right, beforehand.
It's empowering them. So what NBC and Kappas are doing is they really are helping the next person who's going to commit these murders have a reason for doing it.
Look at the climate. Look at the climate we're living in these days, especially with a lot of young people this age. It's all based around getting attention through blogs, through your YouTube videos. Who doesn't want their YouTube videos and MySpace page? You want the most friends. You want the most views on your YouTube videos. This is the next step. They were calling it a multimedia manifesto. So it's like a blog YouTube videos and a MySpace wrapped into a package and delivered to a news organization that then is not going to play it on just the internet. It's going everywhere. It's going on national television. So for a lot of these people that are on the edge like this, psychopaths, lunatics that want this type of attention and have been using the internet to do it, they now have a new way of getting their image and their ideology, no matter how lunatic it is, out there to the public through network television.
Yeah.
With the same type of video and a blog-like ramblings that they were just able to get on the internet beforehand. So yeah, you're absolutely right. This will get people that are on the edge to go, wow, this kid made an impact doing what he did.
This kid got famous.
This kid got famous. His face is all over the news this morning. The second my clock radio went off this morning, I woke up to his voice.
Right.
And he's being shown as powerful with guns. They said, and DeBecker said, why they should paint these kids like what they really are, which is these nerds.
Yeah.
With no friends. They are losers.
Start editorializing.
Like yes.
Editorialize when you play the clip, saying, "Now let me show you this. You know, obviously this kid has mental problems, and you know he's just a spoiled brat." Who didn't feel he had what other people wanted. You know, yeah, paint him for what he is. A piece of garbage, wanting, not willing to work for it, jealous.
Yeah.
That's what he is.
Now we get to sit back and wait for the copycats. And it will happen. They were saying it all over the news. It's not if, it's they're basically saying when. When will it happen? Will it be today? Will it be next week? It'll definitely be before the end of the school year. That's a guarantee. A guarantee. And I even told Anthony, I'm going to say it again. We were talking about the Columbine thing, the anniversary's coming up, and Hitler's birthday. I said it on Monday, the day of the shooting, off air. I go, oh, that's Friday? Oh, great. Something really bad's going to happen.
Yeah, they love doing things around this time. The anniversary of Columbine, Hitler's birthday.
Because the news screwed up. They glorified Columbine.
Yeah.
You know, but they'll go at their shock jocks and violent video games and an old white guy saying some off the hand dumb comment. That's what's is society's problem. Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Instead of what's giving them a direct pipeline to the rest of society.
Why don't you look inside your own walls and see what you're doing? You just glorify this weirdo for the rest of the weirdos out there. Made him a massive star.
That's exactly what he wanted. Why do you think he put himself on video? And mailed it to NBC. He mailed it to a news organization full of video. It's exactly what he wanted.
Is fat slug Al Roker going to blog about how he doesn't appreciate his network showing this?
Yeah, why don't you write a letter talking about how awful the president is for the president of NBC is for doing this?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Nah, he doesn't have the balls because that would affect his job.
Get fired.
Of course it.
Criticize
of course
the boss.
He would. Of course. And Keith Olbermann with his just BS coming out of his mouth last night. I'm trying to get that clip. How he had to set up this whole thing. Like,
justify it. They're all justifying.
They're trying to all justify it because they know. They know they have gold, but they also know, wow, people are going to come down on us hard for, airing this stuff.
Yep. You couldn't find, also, I was watching some of the coverage on NBC and MSNBC, and every time they played a clip of this kid, there were more NBC logos and watermarks. Not only, you know how they usually put the logo in the corner?
Yeah.
There was an actual watermark scrolling through the picture itself. Like a very clear, very subdued NBC logo scrolling through, like the ticker does on the bottom, scrolling through the video itself. Like they wanted it. You aren't going to get this video and play it without our logo on it.
I'm looking at the Daily News right on the cover. Even the picture says NBC News. Like NBC, took this shot of the kid.
Yeah, with the peacock.
No, he just happened to send it to you guys. And then every picture in the paper. Look at your local paper. All pictures courtesy of NBC. All pictures courtesy of NBC. I mean, you can't even turn the page without seeing the NBC logo or all pictures courtesy of NBC.
Yeah,
because it's important to get credit. Like you're gonna what you're doing is you're showing basically the ramblings of some little douchey murderer, and you're going to help other people do this.
Yep.
So you might as well get full credit for it and have your logo scrolling.
Go ahead. So when it does happen, and there's a copycat killer that does this and makes a tape or something like that, will NBC be like, wow,
Well,
we're just a news organization. Hey, we're not responsible for anything we do. Everyone else is. But we're the news, so we're not responsible.
the copycat thing is going to happen. So if there's a weirdo out there, just make sure when you make your manifesto, you blame NBC. Go, hey, I did this because I know I could get famous because NBC showed that other video.
Yeah.
There you go. And then send it to another news organization.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. But to talk about the integrity of the news department, and this is bad for society when they dumped Imus. And, we've moved on from Imus, But then to the next week, only days later, just throwing this all over your network. You couldn't wait to get it to Brian Williams and the Today Show. You're a joke. You're not a news organization. You're an entertainment program. Just admit it.
And then how about also, they play his ramblings. They've played interviews with people that were there in the classrooms that were being shot up, just talking about horrific things, what they saw. And yet, during this idiot's manifesto, they bleep out the dirty words. The priorities in this country are ridiculous.
That's a joke, too.
Yeah, play the whole thing with this lunatic showing, pointing guns at the camera, just professing his hatred towards people that are achieving more than he is. Yet they bleep out when he says like the S-bomb or the F-bomb.
Yeah.
Because that might hurt someone. Might you can watch this whole thing and not one person will call into the switchboard or the FCC and complain.
Yeah.
Yet if one of those S words or F words would have slipped through, there'd have been all kinds of complaints to the FCC that my children were watching and they heard the S word.
The media.
Meanwhile, the whole thing is damaging.
Yeah, the media is just a joke.
We are on upside down world.
Right. That's why
it's ridiculous.
That's why we love pointing all this stuff out, how hypocritical it is. There's double standards. It's just a joke.
What's more damaging to a kid? Seeing that or hearing a curse?
Oh, my God.
Come on.
Kids are cursing by the time they're in first grade or whatever.
Stop it with the curses already.
You know what's more damaging is the picture on the front page of the Post. That is downright frightening to anyone that's in school.
He's an action star right there.
He looks like he's in an
action movie hero. They're painting him as.
He looks like he's in a John Woo movie.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And that's the front page of the cover of every paper in America, right?
If you're a lunatic on the fence and you see that picture, you're gonna be like, "Cool."
Yeah, look at me. I look cool. But if you're a kid, you see that's downright frightening. I mean, his eyes, he's got crazy eyes because he took this shot after he already killed people.
Crazy eyes, Opie.
And then you got bloody dude on the paper a couple days ago.
Yeah.
But if, God forbid, a boob slips out or a curse.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Boobies and bad words, everyone's concerned about. But when it gets into anything deeper, these morons can't see an inch in front of their face. Boobies and bad words are the worst possible thing you could broadcast on television, on radio. If you show the Janet Jackson thing for a split second, if I right now drop the S-bomb and it wasn't dumped out of, we are so screwed. Yet you can play the rantings and ramblings of a lunatic murderer that will inspire other people, absolutely inspire other people to do copycat crimes and get their face on the news. And that is fine. It's just we are in this upside-down society that I don't know who's running this asylum.
The school shootings escalated because of the media. I have no doubt in my mind. They glorified Columbine for ratings. They knew they had a great story there. They couldn't wait to get the surveillance video on TV. They couldn't wait to interview all the victims and this and that. And we all know their names. We all know their faces. That was the media. But no one will point fingers at them because they were doing, quote, news. But now we got this. And the guy even referred to, the Columbine shooting and those guys.
And it's being used as they're teasing it. Like I said before, the Today Show is going to be getting new video from this collection that he sent over, and they're promoting it. New video It's like, wait, so you're using it. If you had it all, why not just play it all?
And Al Roker's going to sit there like
the fat load hypocrite he is.
He's going to sit there and go and not speak his mind because that would be his job.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how brave you are, Al. You know it's wrong. Everyone knows it's wrong.
Just look out for boobies and curse words because that'll
shut you
hurt
down.
people. That'll hurt people.
Al Roker won't say a word.
Boobies, curse words, and any racial or sexual jokes.
All right.
Ooh, look out.
Well, our phones are lit, obviously, and we got the Brian Williams audio where he broke this to the world on NBC.
They are directly contributing to the next people who are murdered like this.
That's why
they are directly contributing to it.
Dude, and I'm not even kidding. I was this close to throwing something through my TV when that stupid Steve Kappas was talking.
Krampus, Opie, that's what I call him, Steve Krampus.
I'm sitting there going, you're going to try to justify why you're playing this? I would have more respect for you if you said, look, man, we got a gem here, and we're going to exploit this for ratings and cold hard cash. Instead of saying, well, we got to get a statement. It's unbelievable.
Or at least pick it apart and play it in the proper context where maybe you can show this guy for what he was and not portray him as this loner movie. You know what it is about the news, and we've commented on this before. The news these days wants to be a TV show. They don't want to be the news. It's news-ertainment, they've called it. It's like a movie. We've seen it with the soundtracks that they put behind certain stories. When they're teasing a story that's horrific, they'll play like this ominous music like you're watching one of the Saw movies. Or they'll play action movie music if it's a car chase thing that they're talking about. They want it to be like a movie. So in this situation, they're playing it off like a John Woo movie. They're playing it off with showing this kid with his guns drawn, looking what is going to amount to looking cool to other people that might be having these thoughts.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Which is 80,000 times more damaging than hearing a naughty word or seeing a boobie.
And he mentioned Dylan Eric. He mentioned that.
Oh, yeah, he mentioned him.
The other people that the media talked about and wouldn't shut their mouths about and talked about the way they wanted to be spoken about instead of the two little homoerotic, one-gloved douches that they were.
Yeah.
And then people quote them when they show people.
They glorify it for ratings, and this is what you get. All right, we're fired up once again today. It's been an unbelievable couple of weeks of radio,
angering,
and things happening in our world here.
I was on a few message boards last night, and I get ready to post, and I'm like thinking out something, and then I just went, I go, what are you doing? And I just shut my browser down. I go, there's no, why am I bothering? Trying to like discuss this situation in text. I'm like trying
on what
to
message board?
I don't know. There was some stuff written on New York radio message board that I was going to comment on, and then a few of the other ones, whack bag and things like that. And I'm just like, screw it. Why bother? You just sit there and argue like an idiot back and forth. So I just went to full tilt and played some cards.
There you go. All right. We'll go right to the phones. I mean, calls from all over the country today. It's Opie and Anthony.
Hear what everyone else is talking about. O&A Uncut and Live continuing the show on XM Satellite Radio starting at 9 a.m. Eastern. Visit xmradio.com to subscribe.
It's the Opie and Anthony Show.
Good morning. Thanks for checking out the Opie and Anthony Show. We appreciate it. Andrew, he writes off the instant feedback. Networks won't show fans who run on the field of a sports game because they're afraid of copycats.
Oh, brilliant.
But they have no problem with helping a mass murderer glorify himself after his rampage and make him look like a powerful action hero.
Brilliant.
Bravo!
Yep.
Someone out there is listening.
What a great point. Yeah, they never show the stupid idiots that jump out on the field. That's a goof. You kind of want to see that.
They came up with that policy a while ago.
We don't want copycats.
Right.
Okay. Well, let's show this mass murderer.
What you...
Huh?
Yeah, that's
what?
you said by
Yeah, we're not...
Put it in the
okay,
thing.
I got it.
Ah, okay, she's naked.
She's naked!
Ew, what did she put on? Like stockings? They look like those girdle stockings. Oh, that girl's disgusting.
It's such a drag. We got this girl. She gets naked every morning across the
Get a
way.
hotter chick in that building.
That would be really nice. No blinds, no shades. We see her naked every day, and there's not much excitement around here. It's more just a thing to check out.
Because it's like the only naked woman in a window.
Yeah, and we have out of this window, we probably have access to, I would say
1,000 windows.
I was going to say 1,000, but at least 500 windows. And we found one where there's a naked girl every morning.
Chubsy Ubsy.
She knows she's naked. What I mean by that, she knows that other people could possibly see her because she has no shades or blinds. She's not shy. But she's just a mess, and she gets on her exercise bike every morning, and we've noticed it's not doing much good. Anyway, our phone number, 1-866-313-FREE. This is what I was talking about as far as Keith Olbermann goes.
Yeah. Oh, before you play anything, Opie, I have to slap this NBC logo on your head.
Oh, NBC.
Before any of us talk
NBC.
about it, we actually have to slap a logo on our head.
Right.
That says NBC and has the little colorful peacock.
Bunch of whores. I'd have more respect for you if you said, hey, this is a ratings grabber. We're going to go with this. Instead of BS statements like this.
NBC News turned over the entire contents to the FBI and has cooperated fully with the authorities. And as our Brian Williams pointed out earlier tonight, we know we are airing the words of a murderer. After great debate, we think the story so transcends our experience as people that reporting this part of that story is necessary.
Oh my, great debate? There was no great debate. You know what the debate was? All right, who gets which clips?
Yeah.
All right, give Brian Williams these.
Brian Williams has to get these.
Right,
He's got to break the story. He's our man.
These clips have more of an entertainment angle, so we'll give them to the Today Show.
Entertainment angle.
This has a local feel to it, so why don't we give it to the local NBC affiliate in New York?
What's going to trickle down to, like, Judge Judy?
Yeah, no kidding. That was the great debate, how to divvy up the clips to make everyone look like a star yesterday and today.
By the way, if it was news, they would never make a disclaimer like this. You don't make a disclaimer like this with real news.
They know they're going to catch crap for it. So they have to do these disclaimers and rationalize the whole thing. And you hear what he said? We've turned these over to the police. Not immediately, you didn't. Because I'm thinking, when I first heard this, and I heard they had clips and were playing them, I'm thinking, wait a minute, the cops should have this. How did they get a copies to play? And then I realized there was a couple of hours before they called the cops.
Yeah.
They got the letter, and then they opened it. NBC Security opened it. They made copies of everything, then called the police and the FBI.
They made copies. Why? Because they wanted to air it. They were tampering with evidence.
It's their letter. They got it, but to tell you the truth, yeah, you're kind of tampering with evidence.
And, they're saying that the package arrived a little late because, the address was wrong. They need a little time because, this was a pretty big package. A lot of video clips to go through and a lot of writings.
Mm-hmm.
That takes time to get copies of all that. They were tampering with evidence, but where's the outrage? Yeah. And I wouldn't even be focusing on this too much if it wasn't for the fact that Steve Kappas last week was saying that what Imus did was really bad for the country and the integrity of the news department was at risk.
Oh, sorry.
What happened?
Well,
Tom Brokaw?
No, you're talking about it, so we figure, you got to play the NBC News music. Just so everyone knows. I like how you slap that right on your forehead, that big NBC peacock. I'm
going to just get it tattooed. Just tattooed on my arm.
So you can talk about it anytime.
Yeah, absolutely.
With impunity.
So, but here we go. Here's Steve Kappas. He's just full of S. Just full of crap.
Crappus.
Any news organization has two sets of choices to make here. A, notify authorities or don't notify authorities, and B, run this, don't run this. Were there any doubts about the answers to either of those questions?
Oh, I think, that whole process is long and complicated, and it went on all day today. I mean, our first reaction was...
You know why it went on all day, quote, end quote? Because Brian Williams goes on at, 6:30?
Yeah.
That was the only reason.
You have to figure out what clips are going to be played.
They knew they had gold, and
Get
they
the
weren't
best clips.
They weren't going to break in the middle of the day when most people are still at work. They're like, we'll wait till 6:30 on this, man. When we know, I mean, they study this crap. We're going to have a massive audience. Why would we release this like at 2, 3 in the afternoon? Maybe get a little bit because it was a special report, but then everyone would be on it by the nightly news.
Yeah, they wanted to break it.
They wanted the exclusivity when the most people were watching. This guy is full of crap.
It went on all day today. I mean, our first reaction was to immediately cooperate with authorities and get these documents into their hands so that they could figure out what we had.
After you made copies.
And with Pete's help, we expedited that process and got it into the hands immediately of the FBI, and we started speaking with the lead investigators with the Virginia State Police all the way through. And they made what I thought was a reasonable request to not release any of this information until they could see what it meant to the investigation, and we also had a lot of conversations here about the sensitivity of all of this and whether it would be appropriate to release it. We sat on this for hours while we had all those conversations all day long.
Right.
Oh, my God.
Wow, could any more crap come out of his mouth?
I pray our listeners are hearing it how we're hearing it. This guy's full of you-know-what. Tampering with evidence. Should have handed it over immediately. All of a sudden, he's part of the investigation. You're a news organization. You get this evidence. You give it right to the FBI and the authorities down there in Virginia. What have you? You're not in discussions with those people.
He's presenting this as if they immediately handed it over to police, which they didn't. They didn't. NBC Security opened it.
And you made copies immediately.
Immediately.
Because you wanted to take advantage of it.
Because they knew that once the cops were notified, they were whisking that away, and you're not playing it or getting copies of it or anything.
Because then at that point, eventually it would be released in the entire media.
Yeah, very slowly.
How do you have security open evidence? I mean, how is that like you knowingly, if it wasn't just a regular package, you knew it was something and you didn't call the cops?
Well, that's why they kind of are using they used to be detectives.
Yeah.
Used to be like police
I've
officers.
never heard so many excuses being made for something that
ever since the anthrax thing, suspicious packages are opened up by these guys.
So many excuses.
That are retired detectives.
For something that is supposed to be totally fine.
Right.
Then why the hell are you having to justify every move you made in this?
And that Corey made that point about the way they don't show sports guys running across the field.
Yep.
What a great point, because they don't want copycats. This, they know, is probably going to get other students shot. And they don't care about aiding copycats.
That's all right.
They really don't
just
care.
blame it on video games or something else. They don't have to blame it on
the easy targets.
The fact that you're glorifying this guy.
Blame it on a John Woo movie.
Yeah, something.
Blame it
music.
on dumb music. Dumb band or some dumb violent video game. Well, here's Kappas just BSing some more, talking about how he's worried about the copycat thing, Jimmy.
Oh.
Did the investigators have any reluctance about putting this on the air, both in the sense of fulfilling this murderer's wishes and the prospect that obviously has to be considered of perhaps inspiring copycats?
Well, we had an...
By the way, Keith Olbermann is just Steve Kappas's, puppet.
Yeah. He's asking the tough questions because they already have the answers written down.
Yeah.
Like, he's not asking this guy any questions he doesn't know, have an answer for. The answer's been thought out, written down, to protect them as best they can.
Keith Olbermann is a disgrace. He's a puppet.
Yeah.
It's like he had a meeting with, he just happened to have the president on his show and he's going to ask the tough questions like Ant's saying? No. Yeah. They sat down in a room. This is how we handle it.
You ask these questions.
You ask these leading
I'll give
questions.
These answers.
And I'll give these answers. And it should cover us so we could get back into, just getting ratings and making money off this tape. Oh, my God. I can't sit here and and buy their explanation. It's ridiculous. It's time that we really start focusing on what the news media does do in this country.
If they could drag those Virginia Tech student bodies through the NBC studios and be allowed to show it, they would do it.
Oh, they would do it in a second.
They would drag those bodies to the studio and film it if they could get away with doing it.
We pay real close attention to this stuff because we'll screw up and we'll be portrayed as the devil on their news programs, or they'll talk about the violent video games like Ant said, or these action movies. That's the real problem in America when these guys are doing far worse.
Now, what's his answer?
Perhaps inspiring copycats?
Well, we had a conversation with the Virginia State Police about that, and their cautionary words were to be mindful of that, and but they also said that they looked at this and they said they understood that it was. Their words were, it's okay to release this. It's not going to jeopardize the investigation. They said just be mindful of how much you use because they did not want to get into a situation like, that you described.
There's a lot of semantics going on here.
Did you hear that?
Mindful. What does mindful mean? Or we had discussions that in the other clip, we had discussions, mindful of this.
And then they said it's okay. It won't affect the investigation. So that almost was leading you to believe that they said it was okay to play. They didn't. They said it was okay that it wouldn't affect the investigation, but it would affect other people that might be of this mindset to go off and try to copy this.
Right.
So they said be mindful.
What's that?
What does that mean, be mindful? I think they're underplaying what the authorities probably said, which, it really isn't a good idea to play this.
They basically said, please don't.
And watch what he just does. Can you play the last moment? Where he goes, what you just said. He doesn't even, Kappas doesn't even, whatever his name is. What is it?
Which one?
Krampus.
Doesn't even say copycat. He goes, mindful of what you just said.
Yeah.
Oh, don't say it.
I don't even know where it is.
Is this something the last moment?
Don't
Last
say it.
That they looked at this and they said they understood that it was. Their words were, it's okay to release this. It's not going to jeopardize the investigation. They said just be mindful of how much you use because they did not want to get into a situation like that you described.
So he doesn't want to say the word
describe.
They don't want to get into a situation, that you described.
There's probably a memo that was passed around right after that said, do not use the word copycat now. Do not use it.
Let's say hi to John on Long Island. John, what's up?
Hey there, Jen.
How are you?
Hey.
John.
There's got to be some kind of paper trail that you can show what time that package was delivered and then what time the police were notified, just to show what he said immediately.
Yeah. I don't
show what immediate means to him. I bet it was 2 or 3 hours.
I heard last night it was 2 hours before they even notified the police that envelope was there. So within that 2 hours, it was opened. All the materials were copied, and then it was handed over to the police.
You know what would have been great, and I hate to say it, but what if there was a homemade bomb by this psycho?
That's just it. You never know. You just don't know. The guy's a lunatic. He shot up 32 people, including himself, and they're just opening this. Don't you think perhaps experts should have gone in there and seen if there was some type of booby trap on the thing?
No, he called his $7 an hour rent-a-cops to go there and open it for him.
Yeah. But I guess they have power because they're the news or NBC. I don't know where they have this leeway. Could you imagine in your job if you had some kind of evidence to a huge case like this and you took your time calling the authorities? What would happen to you?
Oh, you'd be fired, but you can't say nappy-headed hoe.
Right.
Yeah, that's damaging.
Exactly.
That is boobies are damaging and curse words are damaging.
Yeah.
Well, it's over. It's all over.
And they'd be the first people to jump on any dumb jock that says anything bad, or anybody on TV, or Simon Cowell for rolling his eyes. They're the first ones to just pounce on that because they're so high and mighty.
Yeah.
Yet when it comes to something like this that's based purely on ratings, they knew this was going to be a gold mine of ratings.
And brave Keith Olbermann went behind closed doors with this Steve Kappas to say that Imus should be fired, and didn't have the balls to say it on his own show until it was safe to say it when Imus was finally out the door.
Yeah.
Hey, Keith, why don't you quit?
Yeah.
Because this is really bad. You do understand that this is really bad, right?
This will have more of an overall
this will
effect.
help copycat killers.
Yeah.
This will help copycat killers, and it's going to happen.
It's like a little lesson on what to do to get yourself.
So where's the outrage with your company? Just a bunch of poo-ha's. Al Roker will keep his mouth shut. Oberman will keep his mouth shut, and he'll toe the company line. You're a puppet. You're a puppet for MSNBC and Steve Kappas. Tom, Jersey, what's up?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Hey, Tom.
Yeah, how about they're saying the zip code is wrong, but there's a clip of a lady from the post office saying she remembers this guy because she personally put the zip code in for him. So a postal employee put that in there, but NBC is saying it's wrong.
Well, it was scratched out like 3 times, the zip code.
Right.
Like he couldn't get the zip code right, and then she helped him with it. I don't think there's a problem with the actual zip code or delivery of it. But it's just the fact that it sat in the office for as long as it did.
I doubt they're lying about that because they have computers that track every package. You can't get away with lying about that.
They showed it went out. He delivered it to the post office, and it was time stamped at like 9:01 a.m. So it was a half an hour before he went off.
Which is why he took that time. It was to make a video.
It was between, he dropped it off between the first killings and the second killings.
Yeah.
So that's what he was doing between that, and that might be why he had some statements talking about murders in the past tense. It's because he actually had done them.
Russell, Jersey, what's up?
Yo.
Yeah.
Listen, is there any time at all in the near future when the press is going to stop talking about this story at all?
No, it's a ratings grabber. That's the only reason they're going to continue with this. That's the only reason. They don't care about the victims. They don't care about society in general. They don't care about the college kids and how they're in danger. They don't care about any of that. They care about one thing: ratings.
Yeah, but how about like the poor people that are laid up somewhere and they got nothing but television and radio listening to or newspaper to read? And it's like there's nothing going on in the world besides this freaking story, you know?
Oh, well, there is. I believe 160 people were blown to bits in Iraq yesterday.
Yeah, there you go.
Jesus.
I didn't even know that, so you just mentioned it now. I mean,
yeah, 4 separate car bombings killed over 150 people in Iraq. How about that?
And Governor Corzine, wasn't wearing a seatbelt, and he was going 91 miles an hour when he almost died in that horrific car crash. And he was using his sirens and stuff.
You hear what they have to do to him now?
And Bloomberg is kind of calling him a dope in the paper.
Yeah.
Or I saw it in the headline. I'm not sure if he used the actual word.
I don't think he used the word dope.
All right.
But you hear what they're doing to him now? They had to put these, like, little pain, like, it puts a local anesthetic in directly to his wounds so they could start getting him off the morphine.
Nice.
He's going to be a morphine addict.
Can you imagine the governor of Jersey turns out to... It's a horrible story, obviously, but...
By the way, I think once you've had morphine once, you're a morphine addict.
Really? You've had it?
Oh, I had it once.
Nice.
Probably the most amazing drug out there. Oh, it's fantastic.
Can you get that over there, from
no.
I mean, from a pharmacy prescription.
No.
Crazy? They don't sell
You pretty much have to be shot to have it. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Or you got to, go diving to find your own stash.
Or fly out of your vehicle at 90 miles an hour.
Did he fly out?
He didn't have a seatbelt on, so he at least got bounced around pretty good.
Yeah.
The only one. Everyone else that was wearing their seatbelt just walked away from the thing, pretty much, yeah.
Yep.
What happened? It was like a retarded guy in a van?
Not really.
They
found the guy.
Needs.
They found the guy. They're not charging him.
Because he said he has special needs.
They're not charging him, but you know something?
No, the governor was going 91 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And this car obviously probably veered over into whatever lane the governor was not in, and I don't know. And
they said it was a chain reaction. One guy pulled over and went right off the shoulder of the road, tried to get back on the highway. You know when your wheel slips off the highway into the dirt, and then tried to get back, and when you got back on, he was oversteered, so he cut across the lanes And
the governor's car was going way too fast to try to.
Oh yeah, but I'll tell you one thing:
situation.
I've seen it too many times. People don't know how to get out of the way of emergency vehicles anymore. They are clueless as to how to get out of the way of these things.
There is a panic that happens.
Just move over to the right, get out of the way. That's all. And if you're at a light, if you're at a red light, I've seen this too many times. You're at a red light, an emergency vehicle's behind you going, go through the light. If you just slowly creep, look both ways, the sirens blast, and so for the most part, the whole intersection is stopped. If you're the only guy blocking a fire truck or an emergency vehicle and you're stopped at a red light, you're not going to get a ticket. Go through the light. Let the guy go through.
Right.
They just don't know how to do it. And I'm sorry, I'm going to be politically incorrect here. I look when people are making bonehead moves. I turn and look at the driver. And a lot of times it's foreigners. They don't know the rules, I guess. I don't know. Just get out of the way.
All right. Hey, we'll promote NBC a little more when we get back.
Sure.
Brian Williams going over the videotape.
I also want to point out something that came out of San Francisco.
Oh, that absolutely after the break, Jimmy.
Yeah,
that was something we didn't get to yesterday because we were so busy.
World's upside down.
And also, pre-sale tickets. What's going on with that, Jimmy?
9 a.m. Pre-sale for the Traveling Virus starts today. And
8 or 9 comedians that you know and love from the show. Ant and I, videos, O&A. It's a whole day of festivities, tailgating. We recommend you tailgate.
Confirmed for the at least for the Wantagh show, which is in Jones Beach, June 16th. We've confirmed Stephen Lynch, as well as Bob Kelly, Saget, Caliendo, me, Louis C.K., Otto, Patrice, and Boss.
Okay.
So pre-sale is 9 a.m. this morning. The rest of the country has access 10 a.m. tomorrow, but you have them 9 a.m.
Pre-sale is really, really good. Tickets are going on sale today.
Yeah, that's right.
And what are the shows real fast? Just rifle through them there, Jimmy?
June 16 is Jones Beach, Mohegan Sun in Connecticut, June 30th. The Tweeter Center up near Boston, June 21st. Detroit, August 4. The Nissan Pavilion in Virginia, August 18th. PNC in Jersey, August 25. And the Camden Tweeter Center, September the 15th.
We're like Metallica.
We certainly are.
We're on tour.
But broker.
Right. Don't buy too many tickets because if this is really successful, then next year we got to do like 20 dates.
Yeah.
Last year it was 4, and it was so successful they moved it up to, it's going to probably work out to be about 10 dates this summer.
Yeah.
And if these are successful, then we just have to quit the radio show.
Yep.
Because we're going to go on
full-time
tour.
touring.
We're going to tour on a tour bus. It's Opie and Anthony.
It's the Opie and Anthony Show. The virus is spreading.
All right, let's get right back into this. You're listening to Opie and Anthony. Booby Man from Brooklyn. Speaking of morphine, my brother burnt his legs up at work. He was in major pain. They gave him morphine. He started wooing like Ric Flair.
Really?
Yeah. And then this should be said. Troy from somewhere, Troy Dixon. Love you, love the show. I dig the topic, but every news station would have done the same thing. Please don't come off like Fox News with a biased response due to recent actions with Imus. CBS would have done the same.
Oh yeah,
I'm not arguing that, but I don't want people to think that I'm a dummy.
No, they won the mass murderer lotto, is what NBC did. He sent it to them. And that's why they did it. But yeah, any news organization would have done it.
Of course. But
even CBS. Our station is owned by CBS.
But please don't come up with all this BS. You're doing it for ratings.
Yeah.
You're doing it for money. That's it. We don't really need to see this manifesto. Society doesn't really need to see the ramblings of a weirdo who says nothing, so stop trying to decipher it. And the Ishmael thing or whatever, it's the first line of Moby Dick. End of story. They're trying to bring like Christianity into it, and the Muslims and all sorts of other religions. He was an English major.
Don't try to decipher this kid's ramblings like there's some genius stuff hidden between the lines. He's awful. His plays that we read yesterday were awful.
He's childlike, his writing.
Yeah, he's childlike. He's retarded.
No character development.
He had no social skills, obviously. He couldn't talk to anybody. He's a dysfunctional idiot who they're making into some action hero on the news. Great. Wonderful.
Hey, we got Bob Saget. Bob.
Guys, you forgot he has no chin.
Did he have a weak chin?
No, he does. Very weak chin.
only
It's
seen
the
him-
sign of a psychopath, Jim.
I've only seen him from the front. He looks like Kid Rock from the side.
Yeah, he's very good looking because the hair kind of falls back like a cartoon of a guy on a bike.
We're trying to figure out who will play him in the 8 different network movies that'll come out about this story. And it could be anyone from the spiky guy from the X-Men to Pat Morita. Or isn't he dead?
It's going to be the
I
little
guess
guy
he
from
can't play.
Heroes. It'll be
Or, yeah, the guy from Heroes. I was going to say the Chinese guy, but I don't know if he's Chinese.
That doesn't matter.
He's an Asian gentleman. I have no idea. I have no idea what to say anymore.
2 weeks ago, it was all Anna Nicole for 10 days. And CNN was equating her to Marilyn Monroe's acting. So now this is the next wave.
Yeah, then there's the Imus thing, and now this. It's just big stories, and in between those stories, we get fed just the crap. We get the crap thing, but when this happens, the news just comes alive. They love stuff like this.
Yeah. It's a shame. When Walter Matthau dies, people don't celebrate and care and do a week of review.
He's dead?
Yeah, for many years now. It's really old news.
I didn't even know.
I didn't either.
Oh, jeez.
He was brilliant. I guess it was just heart failure. He used to walk by my house with his dogs, and they had cones around their necks because they had dandruff.
Dandruff?
His dogs?
And then he would say to me, "Do you know if you know where I can get a job?" I said, "Walter, you're a big movie star." Oh, okay. And then he could just keep walking his dogs. He was very nice.
He died of old.
Yeah, he had the
did.
old.
He was just old.
Some people just get the old.
Yeah.
Fermented.
It's
That's how bad
fermented.
we go, by the way. When you look at that's such a horrible week. I was traveling. I was doing a gig. Get to the airport. I go into the bar at the airport, because that's where I meet people and really hang with them and become friends. I'm looking at the kid just running the massacre on they got 9 TVs in there. They're real proud of their flat screens, and they got it all yanked up all the way. And I'm like, I'm going to go wait in the salad plantation or whatever they have outside.
And all that coverage is just a commercial for other weirdos. You know, when you want your product to get out there, you run a commercial. They're running commercials for all those weirdos.
God forbid a boob slips out, though, or someone drops an S-bomb or an F-bomb on TV. That's damaging.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's weird, because I was reading a thing that my publicist sent me that I performed at Kent State last week, and I had a great time. It was like 5,000 people. Got a review that was really nice. Some guy read it and then compared me to Don Imus and said, because I was a guy on family television, now all of a sudden I'm dropping the F-bomb over 200 times in one show, which I think was light for me that night.
Yeah.
I'm not acting it out on stage, and I don't look like the Crypt Keeper, and I'm not evil. I want to entertain people.
Yeah, Imus wasn't evil either.
He was a decent guy?
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, he raised all sorts of money for kids' charities for year after year after year, and all the politicians went on his show. He made a lot of people a lot of money, and he entertained a lot of folks. Yeah, he really wasn't evil. That's what really is frustrating. There was no hate behind that dumb comment.
Yeah, he could be curmudgeonly to some people, but
he
who
was
knows if
to
they weren't.
everyone.
I know, that was his personality.
He didn't have an agenda. He used to get beat up more than anyone else on that show.
Yeah.
They used to make fun of him all the time for being senile
And roll with it.
and slow and boring and all that crap.
Right. I feel bad. I apologize. I didn't really watch him or listen to him that much. I didn't live here.
Damn you, Bob.
Maybe I should send him a note.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob, you're playing Long Island?
I am. And it's a Count Basie Theater, which is good, right?
That's in New Jersey, Red Bank. I did that years ago. April 19th, Bob was there. It's a great theater in Red Bank, which is probably about 45 minutes to an hour.
April 19th, tonight?
That is tonight.
Oh, what a dope I am. I didn't even realize this tonight. Are you in town?
Yeah, I'm here. I just got here. I just landed.
Well, get your ass over to our show.
Yeah, why don't you come hang out? You can buy us breakfast, or we'll buy you breakfast. We'll all laugh, get to know each other.
I wanted to do that, and I do know you guys pretty well now. I know where the moles are, and I know
We're pals.
we are. I appreciate it because you guys are cooler than me.
Why don't you come in tomorrow?
Because I have daughter. My daughter is taking me to show me the places she's been working. The corners.
Jesus. What a scumbag.
She wouldn't hear that, right?
Yeah.
The corners.
She sells chestnuts topless. No, that's my kid. Wait a minute.
Well, tonight is April 9th. April 9th tonight is the Count-Basie Theater in Red Bank. I didn't realize it was tonight. I'm an idiot. Tomorrow is the old Westbury Music Fair, which is called the North Fork Theater, right? Is that the old Westbury Music Fair?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. A bunch of us are going tomorrow night. We'll see
a great venue.
Are you coming?
Yeah, I'll be stalking you again, Bob.
Okay, well, we're gonna go out afterward, and we're gonna do something really fun. Maybe we'll go over to Don Imus's and do some shots.
Nice.
All right.
Talk politically incorrect.
I know, I'm sorry. And then Saturday, I'm at the Orpheum.
Great gig in Boston, Massachusetts.
Boston.
And then the 27th is where the hell is that? Mortasian Hall in Bushnell Center in Hartford. Oh, Hartford.
Bushnell,
okay.
yeah, Bushnell Center, Hartford, Connecticut.
That's a speaking engagement. That we're discussing censorship. That is the Connecticut Forum. So that's not actual stand-up, which will be interesting because hopefully I'll meet some really cool, Grey Poupon kind of smart people.
Nice. All right, Bob. We got to get back to this subject at hand here. So.
All right.
We'll talk to you a little more tomorrow, maybe, or maybe you'll just surprise us and stop by.
Maybe I will do that.
All right.
If I can do that, I will, and I'll see you tomorrow night. And thanks, guys, and all the best.
All right.
Bob, see you soon, man.
Thank you.
See you later.
Take it easy, Bob. Bob Saget, everyone. Chris in Boston. Hey, MSNBC just reported that VT students said they were physically ill by the pictures and footage they were shown of Cho and said it was like rubbing salt in our wounds.
There you go.
There's your integrity.
But what do they know?
There's your integrity.
They're only the kids that were directly involved in the situation. Yeah, what do they know?
Doesn't matter how they feel. As long as you get a few extra people watching your network, make sure you brand your little label on it so everybody knows it's
Imagine being this kid. I read a little article from an eyewitness. One of the students that was in one of the classrooms. The gunman bust in. He busted in this room and just started methodically shooting everybody. He said it was very slow and calculated, like it was a rhythmic. The guy just stood there, bang, 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 shooting everybody. He laid down on the floor under his desk and completely expected to die there under his desk. Then the gunman left the room, and he heard these like slow groans from the people that were shot, some really low crying, no real loud screaming or anything like that. And he just stayed there and played dead for a little while. The gunman comes back in the room, reloads, and just starts reshooting everyone that was shot already on the floor.
To make sure that you weren't playing dead. Wow.
So the kid is laying there thinking, oh, my God, now I'm going to be killed. He's going to shoot me. And he's laying there wondering what it's going to feel like to be shot, if he's going to die fast or slow. And he looks, kind of opened his eyes, and there was another girl who was playing dead. And they locked eyes and kind of looked at each other with this, oh, my God, can you believe this is happening? Just keep playing dead. They didn't say a word to each other, but there was this communication going on just from their eyes. And the gunman walked out of the room, and then the cops came in and said, everybody stay down, stay down. If you're okay, get up, they said. So the girl he was looking at had been shot, but not badly. And him and that girl were the only two people that stood up. The whole room, dead. And he gets up and walks out of this, and now he has to look at the guy that did this, probably saw those images in real life of him holding the guns, pointing them, and shooting, and now he's looking at it with that horror, and that's not damaging. And is that a little more disturbing to the participants in this, if I could call them participants, than a basketball team being called something? Yeah. I hate to even equate the two things. I really do. I don't want to, tie the two things together in any way. One is too much. One is too serious to even be compared to the other.
Yeah.
But to say that, a week ago we were listening to a basketball team that said they were going to be scarred for the rest of their lives from something that was said.
Please, the coach got a book deal out of it.
Yeah.
And we said it on the air that this was the best thing that ever happened to the Rutgers women's basketball team. Now everyone knows who they are, and they're going to get all sorts of opportunities because of what Imus said.
And now we have a news organization showing pictures that will absolutely scar the people that were involved in this. They're scarred already.
Right.
But this is, like they said, and this isn't our words, this is coming from the students, rubbing salt in the wounds.
And by the way, when you were describing that whole scene, which just gave me chills there, Anthony, this kid obviously studied past school shootings and obviously heard the eyewitnesses say stuff like, I made believe I was dead, and that's the only reason I'm alive today. I think that's why he came back in the room and started shooting again, because it probably popped in his head like, wait a minute, I don't think I got all those kids.
Did I get everyone? I'm hearing some moaning.
I don't think I got all those kids. I remember, like, when I was studying this, that some of these kids will play dead.
He also said, I heard a lot more shots than there were people in the room.
Right.
The second time.
Well, you know what it was? He probably ran out of victims. Like, after a while, people probably hid, and you just wanted to keep shooting.
You need to keep shooting people, right.
And I don't know why people didn't jump out the window.
They did.
I know, but I mean, like, once he walks out, I mean, easier said than done. Maybe you're just too paralyzed. But Jesus, get out.
Mm-hmm. And when you hear a slow, like he described it as a slow, methodical shooting, you would think instead of just hiding under a desk, but you can never think of what you're going to do in that situation. Like the old guy that was a Holocaust survivor. He winds up being this huge hero. He threw himself in front of the door and held the door and told the students to get out of the classroom any way you can, even if it means the window. And one of the students said he saw shots coming through the door and going into this guy in his 70s.
76,
He was being shot, and he's still holding the door shut. As bullets are whizzing through the door and going into him, he's holding this door as long as he could.
Jimmy, before you get to that real fast, Lon, the feedback is just, it's coming in so fast, you can't even keep up. But Lon from Georgia, the media refuses to show the Twin Tower footage because they say that it's too hurtful. Really, they want people to keep hating the war and not remembering why we're there. But they show that hypocrites. And you hate...
I don't like seeing the Trade Center footage either, I tell you, God's honest.
Obviously, but, and then we got this from Bill from Long Island. Here's what makes me sick about you guys, meaning us.
Okay.
If that video came to you, you guys would have done the same thing. Just at least say that. You would not have turned that tape over, and you would have made sure your names were on it. Admit it.
Are you kidding?
But you don't.
We on this show, we never try to be something we're not. That's the point we're making today.
We didn't fire someone under the guise of integrity for our news department and then do this. We're dumbbells. Of course we'd show it. We probably wouldn't even know what it was. If it's anything like anything else fans sent me, I would still be sitting on my desk.
Either that or it would be in the garbage pail.
Yeah.
like when we get every letter we get, I open, look at it, and throw in the garbage.
We better check our garbage because we do throw out half our mail. And yeah, we would exploit it for our own needs. Yes, that's a very honest thing to say. Not only that, you'd see that stupid Foundry Music logo all over the place.
Yes, the flaming Foundry logo.
And then he'd bury it on Foundry. You wouldn't be able to find it.
You can't find it. Why are breasts coming up?
I want to mention this. This is just another example of just how self-centered and disgusting the media is.
Oh, Steve actually did get it, but he thought it was fake. This is so fake. It's obviously not real.
Media advisory, coverage on Virginia Tech shooting incident. This is from San Francisco, of course, for immediate release from Janice Lee. Like the rest of the nation, we at Asian American Journalists Association are stunned at the news of today's shooting. Our thoughts are with the victims and their families and their friends. As coverage of the Virginia Tech shooting continues to unfold, AAJA, which is the Asian American Journalists Association, urges all media to avoid using racial identifiers unless there's a compelling or germane reason. There's no evidence at this early point that race or ethnicity or of the suspected gunman has anything to do with the incident. The effect of mentioning race can be powerfully harmful. It can subject people to unfair treatment based simply on skin color and heritage. Don't mention the race. This coming from the Asian American Journalists Association. And here's who their partners are. The Unity Journalists of Color, Native American Journalists Association, National Association of Hispanic Journalists, National Association of Black Journalists. Every one of these organizations is racially obsessed and cliquish, but don't mention it in connection with the shooting.
Don't mention the race in connection with the shooting, but absolutely mention it that you're Asian American journalists. Why not just American journalists?
Yeah, why? Exactly.
Why are you putting your race in the name of your organization, yet when something bad happens, you shouldn't put the race in there?
And by the way, wouldn't a journalist of color, wouldn't that cover every journalist on the planet?
Right.
I know we're white. Why don't you just say all
There's a
non-white
color.
journalists?
We're not even white, though.
Of
I know
color.
we're the color of the glowing sun and of goodness. Why wouldn't they just say non-white journalists?
I'm wearing a white shirt. My skin is more
pink,
light pink.
We're pink. We're
People
rats.
not of the privileged color.
All right, hey, phones next. The Brian Williams going over the video tapes. NBC, thank you. We're doing that sarcastically. I hope you understand that. There you go.
Of course, they I'm sorry, man. They AAJA. We've tried to contact them to, of course, ask them about this crap on the air, and they never return the calls.
Yeah, because they think we're just a bunch of shock jocks. That's too bad. We do a little more than shock jock stuff.
It's true. Not much, but a little.
A little more. It's Opie and Anthony.
It's the Opie and Anthony Show.
Lakeisha, you sang Jesus Take the Wheel. Randy thought it was a little pitchy. Oh, I thought the vocal was overpowering. Simon thought you and the song were like a hamburger breakfast. Didn't go together. Sanjaya, you sang something to talk about. Randy thought it was too bland. Paula thought the vocals were off. Simon thought it was horrendous. America voted after the biggest top 7 vote in Idol history. Over 38 million votes. Sanjaya, you are going home tonight.
Finally, important news.
That's right. Howard Stern has no influence. And the dumb media bought into that one, too. You're checking out the Opie and Anthony Show. Our phone number, 1-866-313-FREE. Let's go to Dale in Virginia. Dale, what's going on today?
Oh, not much, man. I was just wanting to make a point about the media calling this kid a loser and everything. He had to deal with that all of his life, and his family's got to now listen to it as they've lost a son, too.
Oops.
I mean, he did snap. I got to admit, he did do wrong, but nobody's taking their consideration of what they're saying.
Are you kidding me? Where's the prank in this phone call? You feel bad for the gunman and his family?
Not him, but his family.
All right, you got to be a realist. The family has some responsibility.
I absolutely don't feel bad for the parents. We should hang them.
Ooh.
I will say this for them, though. The court did find this kid mentally ill.
16 months ago, they said he's a danger to himself and others. Yeah. Where was the family getting him the help? I do not feel sorry whatsoever. I'm sorry.
And
you just said you're sorry.
Yeah.
Why would you?
And the stress, hold on, dude. The media, there's such vultures. There was one of our listeners who brilliantly raised the point that they don't even show somebody running across a baseball field because they don't want to encourage copycats. And yet they are showing this, knowing that on some level it is going to contribute to the murder of other students. But the ratings are more important to them. And there's a book by Gavin DeBecker called The Gift of Fear. He's an expert on violence and preventing violence and stalkers. And he said that the problem is the way the media portrays these guys as these Rambo-type figures, and it encourages other people to do it. You grab that book, it's great.
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly, but I mean, still, the family's got to deal with this, knowing that they couldn't help their own son.
Oh, well, kill themselves.
Yeah.
They should just kill themselves. Oh, well. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you, man. I've dealt with depression. I've been put in a mental hospital. I mean, I know how.
Okay.
Great. Thanks.
Then I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah, whatever.
Too, you nutter.
That was Anthony that didn't agree with you.
Oh, that's all right.
Weirdo.
All right, thanks.
Those weirdos were calling yesterday.
I'm not going to condemn the family until they might have been good people. They might be garbage parents. You don't know yet. Sometimes you get good parents and you get a bad child.
Don't care. Don't want to know anything about them. Don't care.
Apparently,
the sooner they die, the happier I'll be. Don't care.
Apparently, this kid wasn't bullied. It wasn't a bullying situation. He separated himself from everybody. He was one of these like recluses. He just didn't talk to anybody. Didn't let anybody talk to him or get inside his head. Yeah, he was. Some people saw that he had problems and tried to get him help. Apparently, that didn't work for whatever reasons. Whether he didn't get the attention he needed at mental hospitals or something, I don't know. I don't know those circumstances, but I don't think this is a bullying thing. his roommates tried to talk to him and go out with him and ask him, hey, what are you up to? And he would just stare into a wall.
Yeah.
Seems these problems started a little sooner than when he got to college.
The signs are all there. Where were the parents?
They should have saw the signs.
Hey, seeing Raul.
They can't open up their eyes. They should have saw the signs.
Raul.
They can't open up their eyes.
Yeah. CNN just reported that NBC has involved itself in the story, and they were supposed to interview families of the victims, but every one of those families canceled their interviews because they are so angry with NBC's airing of Killer.
Backfire on them.
And then you get this coming in from MSNBC themselves. I hope you're following us today. If you're just tuning in, wow, we've covered a lot already. But basically, students felt physically sick after seeing shooters' photos and videos. And this is from MSNBC. They're reporting this as they're showing the video on MSNBC.
Mm-hmm.
Just how many of these kids who all have their own schedules and things going on, different lives and things to do, how many of them had seen this air at 6:30 on NBC and just the immediate reaction to it? It seemed like everyone was talking about it. And some of them were watching in dorms or local restaurants. Many of them were watching this together, and they said that the reaction was something between a stunned silence and feeling physically sick. One young woman who's a freshman described it as just rubbing salt in wounds, plunging a knife deeper. One parent we talked to reacted with immediate tears. Here's just some of what we're hearing out there tonight.
It just seems like he was trying to be like, make it that he had a reason to, which he didn't, which is just stupid. But he just wanted to have a reason to, and also for everyone to, he wanted to get his voice out, and no one wants to listen to him at all.
I just feel like he threw salt on all of our wounds, and I just think the knife was pushed deeper into the wound, so I think it's going to leave a lasting impression.
Hey, how about the news? In this day and age, everyone has a video of themselves doing things. Maybe there are victims of this shooting that have videos of them talking about their hopes and dreams and what they would have liked to have done. Where's the news like clamoring to get those videos and play some of the people that are victims of this idiot talking about their life and what they would have liked to have done?
It's too boring.
Not compelling enough. This guy's an action hero holding his guns out and standing in front of the camera.
Got a little John Woo to him.
Maybe, the first girl that was killed, maybe could see pictures of one of her birthdays or something and have her talking with her family. Boring.
It's really tough to see this reaction. I mean, you know that these students and this community have suffered so much, and you go out there, they're already in mourning, and now this comes out and just adds to it. I mean, it's a lot for them to have to comprehend and process, to hear this person's voice, the person who did all of this. What struck them most, many people said, were those photos showing him pointing the gun at the camera. Of course, the description, the thing that they're left with in their minds is feeling like that is what the victims saw, these people who they knew and had class with every day. And there is anger out there. There's also sadness.
This is beyond unbelievable. This is MSNBC. They were the ones that decided that everyone needs to see the video.
So now their new take is how awful it is to show the video.
And as she does this report, the video is being played. When she describes that they're really disturbed by the shot of the kid with the two guns pointing basically at the camera. That's the shot they're showing.
The shot
as she describes how bad it was for the kids to see this picture that MSNBC released to the world. Holy crap, are we losing our minds?
Is that Canoe lady?
She was on NBC.
She's on NBC, so that's the one with
Danny, what else you got?
The dignity of the news.
Danny, I just wanted to make sure that you knew that all those pictures of the gunman with the pointing straight at the camera, all of that's being shown on the screen as she's saying how horrible it is, and right after the clips they played of the students saying that it was just a knife being plunged deeper into them.
Every 2 seconds we got TVs here. There's not one TV that at one point or another doesn't have his greasy forehead on the screen.
And what did he wash his forehead with? Baby oil? He is a greasy-headed nothing. He's a greasy head. He looks like his breath stinks. He has an ugly mouth and a weak chin and a greasy forehead, and that's how he should be painted.
Yeah.
He's a douche.
their minds is feeling like that is what the victims saw, these people who they knew and had class with every day. And there is anger out there, there's also sadness, and you really get both sides of the coin in some ways, because you have some students saying, after seeing this, no way could they ever feel any sense of sorrow for this person. But on the other hand, you have some parents thinking of his parents and his family and saying they do feel sorry for this person who they say is obviously sick and was in need of help.
Yeah, that thought will get you far in this world.
Sometimes
feel
people,
sorry for the parents.
Sometimes people want to feel sad for you as opposed to anger at you, because it's easier to feel sad for someone who's hurt you, like while he was a sicko, than to deal with the rage of someone just being a prick.
You know how some people, they'll look at the video like that and it humanizes the guy. Like, it shows him as a real live person instead of, you look at the old pictures of, what's his name, Charles Whitman. Was that his name? Clock Tower?
The Clock Tower dude?
Yeah.
That's the record that was broken, by the way, in case you're keeping track at home, because they've told us a million times, because now we're keeping track of this.
Yeah.
It's just like baseball records and, all sorts of sports records. Now we keep track of this. So now the number to beat is 32.
But all we have of him is like some grainy black and white pictures. You can't really get the human element of him. But this one now, you're watching this lunatic.
You're watching a YouTube
rambling
video.
on.
It's a YouTube video.
It is a YouTube video.
Everyone has seen hundreds of those.
Lonely
type of videos
Guy
now.
15.
Those just dumb videos of people talking.
Yeah,
into
just
the camera
rambling
about
into the
some
camera.
nonsense. All right, hey, let's go to Rachel in Hicksville. Rachel.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Good evening.
I'm just calling to comment about the caller from Virginia. I think that in a situation like this, if the family is aware that he is a danger, they absolutely have a responsibility to let at least the administration of the school know so that they can handle it however their policy is.
Well, there's a lot of finger-pointing that's going to be happening in the coming days, because I guess the school did know.
Yeah, apparently all these stories are coming out of everybody who knew and everybody that heard that this happened and instantly knew who it was. I was reading a lot of stories last night that said the second I heard that, I said, I know who this is that did this, and I'll be surprised if it's somebody else.
I just feel that, the fingers should be pointed, because this is just horrifying. How does this happen when people are aware of the mental status of this guy? I just don't understand how that can happen and how anybody can just not have a chain of command and I'm sure he's not the only one on the campus that is having mental problems.
You know what, though? For every one of these, there's like a crap load of people that are doing kind of the same thing, acting the same way, going into mental institutions for a while, getting out, and they don't kill a bunch of people. So it's kind of hard to pick out the ones that are going to absolutely crack and start shooting people. And like it's been said before, you can't just grab somebody and arrest them or keep them from walking around if they hadn't really done anything yet.
It's
unfortunate.
True. It should be red flags someplace.
It was red flagged all along. I mean, people knew that it was going to happen, that something was wrong with them. But, I mean, look, it is kind of, first of all, mass murderers are so rare. You don't have this happen often.
Right, yeah.
And you really just can't start arresting people for being nuts. I mean, there's a lot of nutty people.
Potential mass murderer, yeah.
Yeah, that's any one of us. That's why I like when they show them as being human, because these guys are not these separate entities that we can't comprehend. They are people that we know. They're like guys like you and me. I mean,
kind of lost their minds.
Yeah.
He's a weirdo, and he does a really bad impression of Napoleon Dynamite.
That head is the shiniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I wish you'd get out of my life and shut up.
Let's say hi to Manny in Delaware. Manny.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey.
It's really irresponsible, because you're talking about cat killing. This kid did a copycat killing himself. He praised Dylan Klebold and
Eric Harris.
I can't remember.
Eric Harris.
Right on the video.
Yep.
Yeah, right on the video. He praised those guys.
And the media,
How irresponsible is that?
The media made those guys rock stars.
Yep.
They are rock stars to people out there. And then why was that? Because the media exploited the hell out of that. They couldn't get enough info.
Instead of showing them for the dirty little nerds that they were, which is what they were. They were just greasy, dirty little nerds.
Yeah.
Right.
By the way,
idiot. I wish you'd get out of my life and shut up.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, thanks for getting back on the radio. I missed you guys.
Aw, thank you, Manny. I appreciate it. All right, let's go to Luke in Pittsburgh. This is a weird angle. Luke, go ahead.
Hey, what's up, guys? Anthony, I just wanted to say thank you for finally pointing out that there was no one has really treated this guy badly, it seems, and everything that they brought up. So
yeah, it seems like people kind of went out of their way to try to make friends with the guy or at least carry on a conversation with him, and he just kind of turned his back on them and never spoke.
And that's what's so just damn odd about this whole thing is that whenever you have other instances like this, other shootings with, serial killers, everything, is that there's always some sort of a spark that seems to set them off that doesn't really justify their actions, but it gives you some sort of an idea of what was going through their head. And there doesn't seem to be that with this guy.
This looks like the second I watched him rambling in his videos last night, all I could think of was this sounds like a script to one of his dopey plays. You know, the plays we read yesterday on the air. It sounds like dialogue from one of those dopey plays, and I think he reached that point where the reality and fantasy world in his head kind of traded places. And instead of just writing down these morbid kind of empowering plays, he decided to act one out. Yeah, because it had it was this over dramatic, like over the top bad dialogue of blaming people, and
he was looking for some kind of reason, and he just didn't really have a reason.
No, he didn't have a reason.
Like, so he's going to blame
it's rich people.
He's kind of hack. He's blaming rich people and this and that. He really never had a reason.
With your Mercedes and your
cognac and like he's a hack. He's crazy. That's all it is.
Yeah, he's just crazy.
The one thing I just don't get is that when you contrast that, his little videos that he made and the scripts that he wrote, with what you guys are talking about, the way the media is portraying him as some sort of a Rambo, is that it makes no sense. I don't see how other people can actually identify with him at all when they understand that this guy can't even mail a damn package.
Dude, it's the terminology they use. Like, they have things like manifesto of a madman. If you want to snap and be empowered because you're picked on, that is a very powerful way to be portrayed on television. You pointing two pistols.
Like an action hero, like we said.
Like an action hero. Yep. Manifesto.
Yeah, it's not a manifesto until you do something like that. Before that, it's your stupid home movies and your rambling writing.
The writings of a little, a nothing douchey kid.
Yeah, an immature moron.
Just a kid who couldn't get laid, who couldn't meet chicks. He had no social skills.
Yeah.
He was a little bored. He stared at the wall. That's what he was.
And all of a sudden it becomes a manifesto.
Yeah, like this powerful thing that this madman has released.
Yeah.
Yuck.
It's just the ramblings of a weirdo.
Exactly.
Manifesto makes it sound cool.
Yeah, but it's turned into a manifesto when you kill a bunch of people. So someone that's on the edge goes, hey, I have my life. No one seems to care about it, but if I videotape it and write down my ideas and then kill people, it becomes this important historic documentation of who I was.
I should start out by making a couple of points, and the first one should be obvious, and that is no joy in this. This was a sick business having to look through this, to read through it, to see the videos, the still pictures, and to realize what this meant.
Did he say no joy in this before he showed it? Do they say that when they show war footage?
I know.
Yeah, how about that?
They are so guilty, and you never hear reporters justifying why they're giving you news.
Yeah.
Unless it's not real news, it's just sensationalist, get us ratings.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
They are prefacing this every time they play it with some type of justification and trying their best to let people know, hey, this is good, don't worry, now we're doing the right thing here.
Know one thing, if you hear if you're hearing our voices today, the media lies to you on a regular basis.
Yeah.
The media lies to you.
I mean, we
never try to be something we're not on this radio show. Look, we'll exploit stuff to get ratings, absolutely, to get our names out there. Yes, of course. We're not going to sit there and go, well, we had to do this with this person because we wanted to make a social statement about blah, blah, blah. No, we do some crazy, shocking things to get our names out there and to get ratings. Absolutely. The news does the exact same thing, but they'll never, never, ever admit that to you. Ever. O&A Travel Virus Comedy Tour info. Pre-sale starts in what, an hour, Jimmy?
It actually starts in an hour at 9 a.m. at Ticketmaster. Jones Beach, June the 16th, and the lineup is unbelievable. We did get Stephen Lynch for that one, by the way.
Right.
And Otto and Louis C.K., who I believe is here today, and myself and Bob Saget. Mohegan Sun, June 30th in Connecticut. Tweeter Center in Massachusetts is June 21st. Pavilion in Detroit is August 4th. Pavilion in Virginia, August 18th. PNC, August 25th. And the Tweeter Center in Camden, September the 15th. Great lineups for all these shows, man.
And tickets go. Some tickets will be on sale today at 9 a.m.
They're actually releasing really good seats at 9 a.m. for some reason. I don't know what a pre-sale does, but that's why they do it. And then tomorrow morning is the actual on sale everywhere.
I think it's so the true fans of the show really have a shot at it. Because this info is not really out there, I think. I don't know. I don't really know how it works, but I know it just gives the hardcore fans a chance to get the better seats.
Well, basically, a lot of comics on the show draw from other places other than just Opie and Anthony. I mean, Caliendo has a fan base. Lynch obviously has a fan base. We all have a certain... Mine is almost predominantly Opie and Anthony. But a lot of these guys have an outside fan base. Louis does, too, just from the show. People don't even know from O&A.
Mm-hmm.
So this gives O&A fans a chance to get the tickets first before other people's other parts of their fan base get tickets. That's the advantage to buying them.
Because it really is an Opie and Anthony show.
Yes.
So, all right. Look, everyone calling like crazy. Just get to your point really fast. We want to get a lot of callers on between now and 9 o'clock. Also, the Brian Williams going over the videotape. We're going to try to get some of that on the radio. And Louis C.K. is joining the program next as well. It's Opie and Anthony.
Hear what everyone else is talking about. O&A Uncut and Live, continuing the show on XM Satellite Radio, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern. Visit xmradio.com to subscribe.
It's the Opie and Anthony Show.
We should demand that Steve Kappas gets fired. We should demand it. Now he's going on TV to try to explain why he decided that everyone needed to see these video clips from this weirdo.
You know something? I'll even give him that. I will even give him that it's a marginal morality kind of call whether to air it. But the fact that he opened up a package that contains something that could be used in an ongoing federal investigation of the murder of 30 people, 31 people, and himself is ridiculous. He tampered with evidence. They knew it was from this guy before they opened it, yet they decided to open it with NBC security there. That must be good.
Yeah, those guys.
That must be good. Was it the same people that make sure Don Pardo gets up the stairs in the elevator? What is NBC security doing? Do they know how to handle that?
Rachel Dretch's escort.
Yeah. Sorry, I got to open up this package from this. They were assisted by NBC pages that helped them open this package.
The pages of NBC are actually a branch of the Treasury Department.
Right.
Sorry.
ATF, I think.
Let me introduce everybody. Louis C.K. has joined the Opie and Anthony show.
Louis C.K. Always a pleasure to have Louis on the show.
Fellows.
Playing Carolines all weekend?
All weekend, next weekend. This weekend I'm in Atlanta at the Punchline, and this coming weekend.
You know what I noticed about Atlanta? It's a huge XM market for us.
Yeah?
I noticed that. For some reason, they love this show in Atlanta on XM. Because we're not on a regular station down there.
My tickets down there go like flapjacks.
Do they go like flapjacks? That's a wonderful way to put it.
So Atlanta this weekend.
That's wonderful.
Caroline's in New York next weekend.
That's right, next weekend. Caroline's all weekend.
All right, so what do you think about this whole thing? This is obviously the only thing to talk about.
Well, I was telling Anthony, it's all made me really sick. And even the kid doing the shooting is the least sickening part of it at this point. It's some kids are dead. But what the media is doing, it really is.
That's the most outrageous, sick part of it. Because the other thing is yesterday's news.
John Hinckley was on the cover of People for shooting John Lennon. That's how far back it goes. If you kill somebody,
you're guaranteed.
You're on the news.
You mean Hinckley for Reagan or Chapman?
Did I screw it up? Yeah.
Yes, you did. You took
Mark David Chapman.
Everyone does that.
Your murderers.
Well.
Everyone does that because they were so close together.
And Lennon and Ronald Reagan were very very much alike.
Politically, yes.
Yes, they were very.
Yeah.
Nobody told me there'd be days like these. Well,
oh my
God! Imagine all the people living
Life and peace, Mommy.
Was he really for peace? Let's want to get into it.
Faux pas. The bombing starts in 5 minutes. Just talking about the Russians who have missiles pointed towards us, too.
This is on? What?
Yeah, hello. Testing.
What happened?
That was when Reagan was, before
he was doing a sound check on the radio.
Press conference, yeah.
First fireside chat or whatever.
Yeah, for his radio
mic
address.
levels.
And he went to 1, 2. They said, can we get a level from you, Mr. President? He said, 1, 2, the missiles are flying, we're bombing Russia.
Yeah.
He was joking.
The bombing starts in 5 minutes.
It wasn't on the air. It was a joke he made to the engineers, and someone said, "Oh, that," and they made his thing.
That's a good one.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
there he is on the phone, Steve Kappas.
Yeah, we got to get that audio.
We'll have it in a few minutes.
But the thing is, well, first of all, I see the kid. I see him on. I haven't seen the thing. I just saw on the cover of the newspaper.
Yeah,
he's a boring loser. This kid.
Right.
Like even now with the shooting, even if I met him, if he came back from suicide, and I'd be like, "Yeah, what's up? We're talking." I'd still shun him.
We're busy over here.
Yeah. Just a nerd.
Yeah,
bummer.
he had nothing to say in this, what they're now calling his manifesto, his multimedia manifesto.
Yeah.
Which, until you kill someone and then kill yourself, it's your YouTube videos, your blog, and your MySpace page.
Yes.
That is just boring as hell. But then once you kill a bunch of people and yourself, it becomes a video multimedia manifesto.
Yeah, he felt invisible. And well, he's still now. He's really invisible.
Yes,
he's dead.
No, you won't be seeing him no more.
He sent a press
won't be
kit.
seeing him no more.
Headshot.
Yeah, he sent out a press kit.
Well put together.
That's what they said.
Quotes about him.
Yeah,
it's a press kit.
Well, you want to get into it? This is how it all went down last night. On NBC.
Ah, yes.
No, but and then there's all these roadside bombs in Iraq. People die there by the thousands, and there's no loving testimony about each victim in Iraq with piano playing behind it.
Yeah, with the nice music
fat
playing
American
in the
mother crying about it.
No, it's not even nice music. It's like that morbid, creepy, over the top. Yeah.
Good evening. We now know what the Virginia Tech gunman was doing during that 2-hour period between shootings on campus. He was compiling, before going to the post office and mailing via overnight mail, what can only be described as a multimedia manifesto containing video and a lengthy document to NBC headquarters building here in New York.
He actually said that on the air.
Yeah.
Yes.
It can only be
what can only be described.
Oh, excuse me. There's a few other ways to describe that.
The ramblings of a weirdo loser.
Yeah. How about a bunch of videos and pics?
Yeah.
And
it's not like it's like 1970. Where it's like, wow, this guy's got video. What is that stuff? Yeah. Video of himself? What is video? Anyone can take their phone now and make a manifesto.
Yes.
It's not like this, wow, he got video.
We got Pal Talk cameras on right now.
Yeah,
I guess we're doing a manifesto as we speak.
This is the Opie and Anthony Manifest Show. That's what we're calling it, the Manifest Show.
Nice.
What is a manifesto? Can we look that up direct? Because they always credit some ass like Ted Kaczynski.
Yeah, he had a manifesto.
What a rambling douche.
Can you imagine, though, he goes to the post office?
Yeah.
In between? Maybe he was just going to only kill those 2 people, and then he got so frustrated at the post office to decide, oh, my God.
I like that.
I got to lose my mind now.
Yeah, he had to go to the post office to mail the thing in between.
I like that he had to be at the post office and have polite discourse with some. Next. Oh, thank you.
How you doing?
You have to look, make sure you had a 10.
Did I have the right label for express mail?
There's confusion. It's like, oh, I think you were before me.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. Do you have do you have the zip code? Actually, no problem. I can look it up. Oh, thanks.
I'll look at it. Or we were talking about it during commercials that maybe his intention was to just kill the initial people at the first building, but he got so pissed at the post office,
so frustrated,
waiting online. There was probably somebody that was online in front of him that just was asking stupid questions, and he's like, "Oh my God."
And he's like, come on!
Now I'm really
either that
pissed.
or he killed the first couple of people and then watched the news and was like, this ain't happening.
Yeah, damn it.
Oh, wow, I need
a manifesto. Multimedia manifesto.
The envelope was sent from Blacksburg, Virginia on Monday morning. And looking at a copy, you can even see the handwriting of the clerk checking it in at 9:01 a.m. But because
we all got his autograph,
had the wrong zip code, and there are 3 different scratched-out attempts at it, along with Rockefeller Avenue and not Rockefeller Plaza in New York. The zip code had to be corrected, and it didn't arrive.
Doesn't he watch Tina Fey's show?
Today.
Come on. Yeah, right? Watch Tina Fey's show. Send it there.
Yeah. He can't find it. He's always looking for 30 Lock.
Wow.
Oh, God.
They're, anyone else knows they're explaining this way too much?
Yeah.
Like they're trying to cover their ass. Like, look, a lot of people think we might have had this package the day before, but look, it got the address wrong and the zip wrong.
Yeah.
It's like a guy trying to explain why there's a gun in his bag. It was put right in my bag. I had nothing.
Look.
I had no choice. That was not my marijuana.
Here's your manifesto definition. A public declaration of intentions, opinions, objectives, or motives as one issued by a government, sovereign, or organization.
The manifesto. A lot of, countries put out a manifesto.
We have to get our motives and our intentions. Okay. When I am done with this show today, I am going to go home and try to receive treats from my girlfriend orally.
That is a manifesto.
Why? Because I want them.
You got something festering in your
manhood. Manifesto.
Code had to be corrected, and it didn't arrive here until today. An alert New York City Postal Service employee spotted the return address, and he spotted the return address name Ishmael and brought it to our attention by hand.
Yeah, that postal guy was pretty good. Yeah. You know, actually looking at the return address, realizing, this is from the same place, but it's Ishmael. Oh, I kind of remember them saying something about that.
Ishmael.
He's well read.
Hey, do you need a password for the pre-sale? Ryan, Long Island, go.
Hey, how you doing, Owen? You guys didn't mention any sort of password, and you need one for the pre-sale when it starts.
Manifesto.
Hold on.
That's just wonderful.
His manifesto.
It's not on.
That's why he's going to go kill somebody. They did not issue any sort of a password.
All right, keep listening to the radio. Pre-sale starts at 9.
He might have told me what it was.
If we need a password, we'll find it out immediately.
Who did not issue a password.
Here we go. Williams says the first thing they did was call authorities, then they were sensitive. What? I then made copies. I don't know.
When the package arrived on the desk of our news division president today, the first thing we did was call federal authorities.
They're coming
Tonight
their ass,
they have the original envelope. This one we've been showing you is a color copy. We have been poring over a copy of the contents we made. It has taken hours, and we are still going through it. We are sensitive to how all of this will be seen by those affected, and we know we are, in effect, airing the words of a murderer here tonight.
But you can't just say, we are sensitive.
Yeah. We're
and then go do it.
And then do it.
Airing it.
Yeah,
that's like a guy raping. He's raping a girl and giving domestic violence stats.
How amazing would it have been if the guy we're listening to said, we are sensitive to how this will affect, so we're not going to show it to you.
Yeah, so
anyway, we just want to let you know we have it. It's amazing.
We made a decision. Yeah. It'll end up, let me tell you, it's going to be on YouTube anyway. So if you want to see it, just search
That's
it on YouTube.
That's the same crap like when you do wrong and you go, I take full responsibility.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
No, it's like a John Rocker style of apology. Like, if you were offended because you're stupid, even though you're wrong, I'm sorry. Because my lawyer made me be sorry. It's pointless.
Exactly.
How great would it be if he sent it to NBC and he kept citing the reasons for these murders as how awful NBC television sitcoms had become, and there's not a laugh to be had. I had to kill people. NBC is so bad. It's so unfun. Do you think they still would have aired it?
They'd have played it. Yeah, sure. All the other networks would have.
They might have paraphrased it.
Yeah.
When the time came, I did it.
Oh, yeah, now we get to listen to...
I have not heard his voice yet.
Now we get Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, now we get to listen to Napoleon Dynamite. Oh, you idiot!
When the time came, I did it.
Nerd.
I had to.
In a separate written document, he includes 29 photos he apparently took of himself. He looks like a normal, smiling college student in only the first two. In the rest, he presents the stern face and strikes the pose that was very likely what his victim saw later on.
No, it wasn't!
In 11 of the pictures, he aims handguns at the camera, likely the very ones he bought in the past 2 months.
They're making it like this is like a cowboy comic book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's what they're doing. Just like Jesse James was probably a fat nerd who awkwardly quit when he pulled the trigger, he cringed and made all sorts of gay faces.
Probably had really bad BO.
Yeah.
Swamp ass.
But they show him with a chiseled face on the cover of a comic book, and then kids end up being cowboys. It's the same thing here.
Yeah.
The grimace and the pointing. No, when he was shooting the kids, he was probably blinking a lot and probably peed in his own pants.
Made a stupid face like a guitarist doing a real hard guitar lead.
You know, when I was a kid, I idolized Jesse James, and but then someone told me that his grandfather had been shot by Jesse James.
Jesse James shot my grandfather. And then I had the same thing happen. I had a nightmare that I was on a train with my family, and Jesse James came in, and I was all psyched to see him, but then he started shooting my family.
Yeah, and wasn't the weird part about the dream that the set looked like it was probably right next to the house? Like it was
it was lit
weird
the same,
like that. Even though it was the old
lit the same, and the music was kind of written by the same guy that wrote some, I don't know, poppy kind of song.
And then I wasn't sure what was happening, but for some reason, my father had fallen with his face on the pillow, and Jesse James was behind him, grabbing his hips and trying to help him up.
Weird.
Holstering the old pistol.
Yes, and he fired bullets at my father all over his back.
Oh, my goodness.
And then, I don't know why, but Jesse James was afraid to get Dad's blood on him.
All right, hey, listen. Well, the actions could have been avoided. Here's more of Napoleon Dynamite.
You had 100 billion chances and ways to have avoided today, but you decided to spill my blood. You forced me into a corner and gave me only one option.
Took my tots.
Was yours. Now you have blood on your hands that will never wash off.
Much of it is incoherent, laced with profanity. He rails against hedonism and Christianity.
You just loved crucifying me. You loved inducing cancer in my head, terrorizing my heart, and raping my soul all this time.
That's not railing against
He could have the worst voice I've ever heard. It's the worst voice I've ever heard. Yeah. He should do voiceovers for diarrhea.
Idiot. You mean like commercials that are like for diarrhea? Like not to stop diarrhea, but...
Yeah.
Diarrhea.
It's a pro-diarrhea commercial, Louis. That's what he's getting.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to have diarrhea. What's better than just diarrhea?
Give me cancer in my brain. Pain in my heart.
Ugh. What did he say? You had, right in the beginning of that, he says, you had hundreds of millions of chances of ways.
100 trillion gazillion ways.
Stop is, but...
I blame the Ligers.
You guys are dicks.
Sounds like Tara Reid.
Oh my God, guys. I'm so angry with you.
Yeah.
100 billion gazillion ways.
But that's not a real number, Tara.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
But this is news. That's the thing is the serious, what makes it offensive is the dude talking over it. And
oh, yeah.
We had to show you this. Yes. We couldn't just tell you what was in it.
I just hope we're getting smarter out there. You know, they're obviously lying to us. You know, I hope we're becoming more media savvy. They did it for the ratings and for the money that it will generate, and they should admit that openly.
It's true. The problem is that nobody watches something less because they think it's reprehensible. You know what I mean?
No, we as a people love reprehensible stuff.
Yeah.
Well, why do people think in such a short period of time, you know, relatively speaking, and we've heard this thousands of times, we've been on this planet for a very short period of time. I don't know why humans feel that we can evolve so quickly. You know, it was a nothing. It was such a small amount of time between the gladiators killing each other for amusement in the Colosseum. Yeah, on the whole global timeline, the snap of a finger.
It's not even that.
It's nothing. It's
not even a snap.
Why do people think because we learned how to build cool things that in our heads we're not the same people that kind of dig watching atrocities and just horrible things.
Still, every day when I just look at traffic on a highway flowing smoothly, I'm amazed that people aren't just stopping their cars and killing and raping everyone around them.
And the only reason they're not, you're right.
I'm amazed that everyone doesn't do that all the time.
Only reason they're not is because they're late for something.
That's it.
Like they have to be somewhere.
Yes.
If people didn't have jobs, jobs is a way to keep this planet from just ending up with people ripping each other's clothing off, raping, killing.
The entire
be late for work.
fabric of society is a distraction because in reality, what do you need a job for? To get money, to get food. You could grow food right outside your door and buy a cow and drink the milk and then eat it later. But we put it in another place so you have to get just so that, first of all, so guys can get out of their houses and not listen to their ugly, stupid wives. And also, everybody's wife is stupid and ugly. And so that people won't kill each other.
Do you think deep down we secretly wish for stuff like this to happen?
Yes.
Is there like some kind of like excitement that we feel?
Dude, I've told you of my dream all the time. It is to be around for the complete apocalypse of the world.
Totally.
I want to be around and just watch either the meteor hit or just a complete meltdown of all society where it's complete anarchy, nothing but gunfire and bombs outside.
I want an alien invasion.
Alien invasion would be another great one.
Nuclear bomb. That's just hack. I want like alien.
Oh, you want something like amazing,
way out there. Even though the movie sucked, War of the Worlds all the way.
Oh, totally.
Where you just realize, wow, we have no chance against this whatsoever.
Great.
You can't make phone calls and make some crazy last minute deal with a country. No, you don't even know you don't even know their language.
No, when they started making warnings about Katrina, I gotta say there was at least 4% of me that was going, come on,
Levy.
See it.
Yeah,
don't hold.
People are like, you're crazy to say that, but I think secretly we all have that deep inside us. Like,
why do you think people watch the news so much like that? When there's big stories, the ratings go up on the news.
Yeah.
What are they watching it for? Hoping, please solve this and get it off the air so I don't have to see it anymore?
When the guy got that envelope, after he, pulled down his pants and did what he obviously did immediately to relieve himself of the anxiety he was feeling.
Sure.
And he gathered people together and they said, okay, what if we release this? What happens? Well, people will be really upset. And then somebody else said, but will they watch us less? And he, nope. Put it out.
It's
full
on.
speed ahead.
They don't even have that conversation. It's just, that's a reflex.
When I got home from doing some errands and I turned on the TV and saw this was going down, in my brain I'm like, cool. Like, wow, there's more to this story.
Yeah.
And then, I'm going to go home today, and I'm going to hope there's going to be another tidbit that comes out.
That's why...
I mean, I feel, and I hope we don't have to say this, but of course we feel bad for the victims and all their families and all that. But as far as a viewer and living through this, when you hear that there's a new tidbit, you're running right to the TV.
It doesn't even have anything to do with the actual tragedy. What it is how can we look at things like curse words being offensive and let's not offend people on their race and stuff when we are still so uncivilized mentally and with our own instincts that we enjoy watching suffering and crime and murder.
Yeah, but Janet Jackson's boob.
But that's the stuff that we got.
That's the worst thing that happened in American history in the last decade.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that changed the world.
Yeah, the booby slip.
That changed the world with a star over the nipple.
We're on a bizarro planet.
Speaking of disasters, could someone get USA Today from yesterday?
Oh, I thought you needed E-Rock. He's right there.
It was really interesting. On the front page of the Life section, they said if you're 21 years or older, they were mostly focusing on like a 21-year-old, which would be a senior in college. They listed all the stuff they've lived through so far, and it's beyond amazing. When we turned 21, there wasn't this many things,
right?
Just over the top events that have occurred, and they listed all of them. I want to. Well, it's open for debate.
No, you know what? It's like when I was a kid and I used to fantasize that my parents would die. I wanted them to die so that I could go to school and have the teacher really focus on me and say, we'll do whatever you need. So I could have like a press conference with my friends. Like all the kids that didn't pay attention to me would, some girl I don't know would cry for me. Yeah. Like I used to.
You're lucky your parents didn't die because
I'd be living
guilt
with that. No, but then my wish would have come true, and I would have realized things I wish happened.
Oh wow.
press conference.
Yeah, all right, we got a break. We got Louis C.K. in studio. He's playing Atlanta this weekend. Where's the club in Atlanta?
That.
Louis, let's go.
I think at least get a stripper to screw me. My parents died. Atlanta, the Punchline in Atlanta.
This weekend, and then Caroline's next weekend. Here in New York City. Highly recommend. And you're going to be part of the O&A Traveling Virus Conference.
I am. I'm going all over the place with you guys.
With pre-sale tickets starting at 9 a.m. You might need a password.
I don't think you do, Pete said. We don't have to go through a website, right? We're going to go right to Ticketmaster?
No.
No password, Kenny?
No, you got to go through a website, a link?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. We're not organized once again. What do we need to tell the people? We got a half hour.
9 o'clock, you have to go on the website that you can't mention.
Our website?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you can go to your myspace.com/virus tour or myspace.com/Opie and Anthony and click on the pre-sale link. That's the only way you can get these special tickets for the special O&A fans.
We're finally getting that info out.
Why was nobody telling me this while I was announcing this for the last 3 days? No one told me that you had to do that until a listener just called in.
Because it's really just a show and some radio. It's not like...
Right.
What are you, the president?
Well, I should have been.
Why wasn't I told?
Nobody told me.
It's a matter of national
You know what?
security.
Tickets go on sale tomorrow morning.
Get Khrushchev on the phone.
You're a marginal human. That's why.
No, but
Nobody's
Lou, I
interested
have got
in
a lot of importance.
All right.
I have value.
We really got
so much.
We got a break. We got more audio from Napoleon Dynamite / the killer, the shooter, whatever the hell you want to call this weirdo. More with Louis C.K. and blah, blah, blah. It's Opie and Anthony.
It's the Opie and Anthony Show.
We're back with the Opie and Anthony Show. Once again, Jimmy, pre-sale tickets are happening very soon, and there was some confusion with the info, so...
They start today at 9 a.m. Are we allowed to say the website?
This the name of the show, website.
Yeah, Opie and Anthony, you know what had to do. You got to click on the pre-sale banner to purchase tickets. I know this is the first you guys are hearing it. I wasn't aware of it. So tickets are limited. And Pete just wrote in parentheses, this is true and not me trying to hype the pre-sale. There might be 500 in every market going on sale today. They're really good tickets. So you go to our website and click on the pre-sale banner. And I'm sorry I didn't tell you that sooner. I've been plugging this all week, but I did not know it.
Yeah, I was confused about, pre-sale. Anyone can find the pre-sale info, but now it makes sense. You had to go to our website to get the password and all that to get these special tickets before they go on sale tomorrow. Hey, from the USA Today Life section yesterday, so all in their lifetime, from 1986 to the present, this is what these kids that are now seniors in high school.
People that are 21. This is
they're
what
pretty much their seniors. Yeah, this is what they've lived through. They were live for the shuttle blast back in 86.
21 or under, you said, right? Not 21 or over.
From 1986 to present, all in their lifetime. So 21 years. If you're 21 or older, you've lived through all these events. Obviously, if you're in your 40s, you lived through a few more. But just 21 years old. Mm-hmm. You were alive for the space shuttle explosion, the first one. Waco, Texas. Oklahoma City bombing. Olympic bombing. Columbine. Of course, the terrorist attacks on 9/11. The Columbia explosion, the tsunami. Hurricane Katrina, and now, of course, the deadliest shooting in U.S. history.
Did they mention
and millions of other things? Millions of other things too.
AIDS wasn't around before.
No,
AIDS. Middle of early 80s.
I was here for the AIDS. The AIDS. I remember the AIDS.
1993 Trade Center bombing.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. If you want to do that, how about the Cuban Missile Crisis?
Yeah, we were alive when they basically said the world.
The world pretty much. You watch shows on the Cuban Missile Crisis now. You realize, the missiles were in the air. We actually had to pull them down by the fins.
Yeah.
It was that close. Yes. Like, that's how close we were to wiping out everybody on the planet.
Exactly.
And back then it was just like, everything's in hand. Don't worry, Kennedy has everything. Talking with Khrushchev now.
And they had to use, old phones and stuff to communicate with each other, so it was really close. It wasn't like you could send a quick text message.
Yeah, they could have had...
Hold on, let's talk a little more about this.
Like those commercials about dropouts, that could have happened easily. Mr. Khrushchev, I need an answer from you now. Silence. All right, well, the missiles are coming, my friend.
All right, we're launching.
I love those commercials, by the way.
They're pretty good.
They're really good, because we've all been there.
Yep.
About that, okay. I don't know.
Assassination.
Are we just looking at bad things?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah, what about the Flower Festival of '68? That was,
That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
We have Watergate.
Puffy bear that snuggled with a with a monkey. They lived through that.
Watergate, Chernobyl,
Vietnam War.
Yeah, the whole Vietnam War.
Baby
was thrown in there.
Baby Jessica.
Jesus.
OJ.
Yes.
Well, that's,
OJ. Well, we were
that's
a little
for the new.
older for that.
I don't know.
I'm trying to think of when I was 20. Yeah,
screw it. You get the
21.
point. We got to get more of the Napoleon Dynamite dude's audio on.
And don't say when I was 21, Hiroshima. Bastards.
I was going to go with an Abe Lincoln joke.
Really go.
I was just.
You're going to really take the exaggeration further.
I'm a fan of exaggerated humor.
That's good.
Actually, I'm not. I think it's awful.
Why? I said something like, when I was a kid, Christ was still an apprentice.
I didn't have to do this. I could have left. I could have fled.
Jesus.
But no, I will no longer run. It's not for me. For my children. For my brothers and sisters. The chief. I did it for them.
Coward.
What is Nicolas Cage talking about?
Yeah, he's just over dramatic.
If you're gonna kill people and then manifesto his eyes, just enunciate.
Yeah.
Just be clear. Don't make people strange.
Find a proofreader too.
Yeah,
it might help you a little bit.
Or be funny. How great would it be if there was no doom in it?
If he was hilarious.
And if he was like
the king of comedy.
And if he was like, I hate to do this, but so many shoes do not match pants, and just went on this silly rant.
Oh my God!
Or you go girl, and he was high fiving someone that wasn't there.
That would be.
That could only be described as I'm sorry, but it is hilarious.
That would be so creepy, man.
It can only be described as a hoot.
Just gives an Opie laugh.
You would have a lot of Beavis and Butthead faces on the news, like.
If he did impressions, but it's like really bad impressions of Christopher Walken
or Arnold Schwarzenegger, the one every comedian does.
I'm the Terminator. Yeah, that would be awful. Then would they air it? If he was being like funny?
I don't know. How would they? What would the angle be there?
His laugh-a-festo.
Let's get more here.
You sadistic snobs, I may be nothing but a piece of You have vandalized my heart, raped my soul, and torched my conscience.
Ew.
You thought it was one pathetic void life you were extinguishing. Thanks to you, I die, like Jesus Christ, to inspire generations of the weak and the defenseless people.
He was probably pissed because his time machine didn't work.
Yeah. Friggin' idiot. You know, another thing that annoyed the hell out of me when I saw this clip is it's offensive because it's a murderer being given a forum on all the channels to discuss his lunacy after he's killed 32 people. And they bleep out the curse word. Like, that's the part of it.
Hear the brown word.
Again, that's the part of it that they deem unairable. Like, all this is, but Jesus, he said the S word.
It's like when you see Blazing Saddles on TBS.
Yeah.
And they actually take out the fart scene. They take it out. You won't see the fart scene, but they say nigger about 40,000 times.
Yeah.
They leave it in.
They leave it in Blazing Saddles.
The purpose of bleeping is to save people from being offended.
Maybe Reverend Al is onto something. He's basically we basically are telling America that a fart scene is not okay, but saying the N-word is.
That's horrible.
Wow, he might have a point.
Yeah, in that case.
It's just like, how do you play this guy who really just killed so many young people and
actually
bleep out the curse word?
Completely fulfilling what he wanted. Yeah. Making it clear to everybody in the world that this works every time.
Yeah.
If you kill people, whatever drivel...
Yeah, it'll be all over.
Great if somehow it went back to his parents or something with just a form letter. We appreciate your input. NBC has looked over your materials. We find that they're not worthy of broadcast.
We do not accept unsolicited material.
First of all, it's in the wrong format. It's not HD television. It's not up to industry standards. If I shot something like this and tried to get it on the air, forget it. There's no way that I could get... Just based on how he shot it, it's out of focus. It's bleeding, white on.
Yeah, he didn't white balance it.
He didn't white balance it at all.
Terrible.
Right. Hey, Rob Bartlett wants to check in and say hi.
Rob,
we got. Here's where he blames it on basically rap videos. I'll make it. I'll make that connection.
Oh, okay.
Because he's talking about the cognac and the Mercedes and the rich people.
Oh, you think that's who he was talking about?
He liked rap videos. Let's get right into it.
Wasn't he talking about the kids?
Feels like to spit on your face and have trash shoved down your throat. Do you know what it feels like to dig your own grave? Do you know what it feels like to have your throat slashed from ear to ear? Do you know what it feels like to be torched alive? Do you know what it feels like to be humiliated and be impaled upon on a cross and left to bleed to death for your amusement?
No, and neither do you, you stupid.
Pain your whole life. Did you want to inject as much misery in our lives as you can, just because you can? You had everything you wanted. Your Mercedes wasn't enough, you brats. Your golden necklaces weren't enough, you snobs. Your trust fund wasn't enough. Your vodka and cognac weren't enough. All your debaucheries weren't enough. Those weren't enough to fulfill your hedonistic needs. You've had everything.
Somewhere in his brain, he had to go, I think I finally got it.
Yeah,
I think I got my mission statement.
All right, one take. That was good. That was good.
A few other takes,
I did it, yeah.
He had to have had some awkward. You didn't. Oh boy. Okay. Again. You torched my soul. That's stupid.
You know what it feels like to cross-hang on the... Beep!
with the funny cartoons sticks.
Yeah. It'll be on one of those bloopers shows.
Outtakes.
Yeah, and the cannonball run.
Yeah.
He laughs. And somebody's like...
With the credits rolling next to him.
Hal Needham comes out and cuts the whole thing off. All right, cut.
Oh, you idiot. Camera wasn't on.
Dom DeLuise laughing in the background.
And finally, Brian Williams. Here's another, mission statement from NBC. Listen to this horse crap.
We should probably say we're working with law enforcement on some of this because we don't want to create any more heroes or martyrs from this.
Too late.
No copycats.
Wait a minute, we're working
heroes or martyrs.
What does that mean? We're working with law
enforcement.
You're
not the FBI, you dopes. You're not working with anybody. Hand over the material and shut your mouths.
Here's what he said earlier. The whole way he worded it, the president of NBC News Division there, he worded it like, law enforcement told us that airing this wouldn't interfere with their investigation, which doesn't mean law enforcement didn't tell them, don't air it.
Yeah.
He said it wouldn't interfere with their investigation. That's when he was asked, did law enforcement, was there concern about airing this material? The question that was asked, was there concern based on copycats? But he answered it, law enforcement said this will not interfere with the investigation.
No, it doesn't matter. Nobody has to tell you.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
I mean, it's like when the Hillary Clinton and anybody else running for president talks about the money they've raised, and they say, we followed the letter of the law. Yeah, but you shouldn't take money from companies.
Right. There are certain people you shouldn't take money from.
Let's get the rest of the law. We're running out of show. We want to get this on, and then we got Steve Kappas trying to defend just a few moments ago the videos and the pictures.
You mean Krappus? We're working with law enforcement on some of this because we don't want to create any more heroes or martyrs from this. So the material has to be combed through. We will, after examining it, air more of these materials tomorrow morning on Today. Again, as we continue to go through and analyze what is in this voluminous multimedia package that arrived here at NBC.
A voluminous multimedia package. Now available on 3 discs
on KTEL.
They just used this killer's material to promo their own property.
Yes. No, it's like, Robert Smigel that does the cartoons.
Yeah.
We were watching, back when nobody cares about this anymore, Flight 800, that was a jet that fell off.
TWA.
It fell out of the sky into the water.
Yeah.
And it was awful. All these people died. So then on CNN, they had this big promo. Tonight, Flight 800. What happened and who were the victims? And it was so sensationalized that it was like it's trying to get you to go, oh, I love Flight 800.
Oh.
That's my favorite thing.
That's my favorite show.
Did you see Flight 800 last night?
Awesome. I'm so glad they're doing Flight 800 again.
And brought that up. Yeah. They just make it look like it is a TV show.
Because now they put the music and the big, dun 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 dun.
No, and every
It's like a
time that
movie.
you see somebody talking, like whenever somebody dies and one of their the people that one of their relatives is on TV talking about how sad it was, that person was picked up by a town car, driven to a studio.
Right.
They put a thing in their ear, a microphone. They said, "Could we get a level from you?" They signed a thing. They got powder on their face,
Little makeup,
little hair, and then okay, you ready? Oh my God, I'm so sad. It's just all phony. It's all
showbiz.
all fake.
Here we go. Steve Kappas, or Krappus. He should be fired. We should demand this guy gets fired for just lying to the public why he is airing this crap, and now everyone else is. That one guy decided. He could have just said, you know what, no way. No effing way, but here's him trying to defend himself.
You turn this material over, but then you've got a different decision to make, and this is also a big part of the news story.
Well, sure. I mean, and we had a very long discussion with a number of people all throughout the organization, and with.
Well, when you were having these long discussions, did you have something in your ears like?
By the way, is he being interviewed by a guy that works for him?
Of course he is. You brought that up too, Louis.
He's not on Fox.
You got your puppet that is asking the questions that probably he told you.
This is a script. They're working off a script.
He should just be interviewing himself.
Right.
Should I have done this?
Yes.
Yes. That's an excellent question.
I'm going to be asking myself the hard questions today.
Right. Yes. Listen to the semantics that are used in this, though.
Organization and with law enforcement about what to do with the material. The Virginia State Police asked, made a reasonable request, which was to not do anything with the material until they had a chance to review it. So we sat on the material for most of the day. I mean,
wow, most of the day.
Most of the day, not even a day.
Oh, God.
Went up on most of the day.
Most of the day.
All right, now I understand. No, they sat on it because they were waiting for the primetime news to start.
Yes.
You don't want to show while there's just soccer moms at home in front of their TVs.
He makes it sound like it's the timing of like when they release national security documents in the government.
Yeah.
We put this into cold storage for most of the day.
Most of the day.
So that only later generations of today.
Have a job? How does he run the news department?
We didn't air this for what amounted to the tens of minutes.
You wouldn't believe how many seconds went by.
And most of the day was spent getting as many copies as possible.
Yeah, they were doing other things during that time to get ready to air it.
Right, we have an atomic clock that was almost worn out.
Yeah, we're just
by the time we aired this.
God.
I mean, as I said, it came into the building at 11 a.m. There was one still picture released after the Virginia State Police had a news conference at which they announced that this material existed.
What time?
And the video didn't air before 6:30 last night.
Of course it did.
So we
7 hours.
The material
most
all
of the
day
day.
long.
All day long. Sat on it. 7 hours.
How can you explain these horrible?
Oh, then now he's trying to go. Now, how could he have shot those people?
Yeah.
Like now he's off the.
Let's deflect away from the fact that we're whores.
Look, what we did is totally understandable, but what he did is.
Yeah, I mean, come on. My singing wasn't that bad, Simon. It was.
They never give disclaimers.
Just the fact that they are.
Yeah,
they're volumes.
They're panicking. I think it's
backlash.
I think the backlash, media frenzy time, because the rest of the media is
pile on,
and the rest of the media will have no problem turning this into a frenzy because they're all pissed that they didn't get the tape.
They didn't get it.
Yeah, horrible events, and this is, I think, as close as we will ever come to being inside the mind of a killer. And I thought that it needed to be released, and I note that pretty much every single news organization all around the world has made the same decision.
But you had it in your hand.
Examine the contents of the manifesto and so forth.
Manifesto.
You had it in your hands. You could have actually stopped all of them from airing it.
They did it.
They sent it to you.
It's why does it have to say NBC?
I know. He just must be a fan of NBC. While he was shooting people, he was going dun dun dun.
Just trying to make peacock things.
I hope you sleep well at night, Mr. Kappas. Rob Bartlett, we don't have time for you. Can you call us tomorrow, buddy?
No problem.
Rob Bartlett from the Imus morning show.
Imus in the morning.
We haven't really heard from Rob since the whole thing went down, and he wants to go after Keith Olbermann and MSNBC. And you're plugging a gig. Get the plug out, Rob.
Yeah, I'm at the UPAC Center in Kingston, April 28th.
All right, definitely call tomorrow.
We so want to talk to you, Rob.
All right, boys.
All right, thank you, because we're heading over to XM. Jimmy, pre-sale tickets, what's going on?
You have to go to a website. You can go to our website, or there's a couple of MySpace ones, which I don't have in front of me. MySpace.com/Opie and Anthony. There's a link there for the pre-sale, which is happening in 5 minutes, gang. I'm excited. For all the gigs. I mean, Louis C.K. is on all the gigs, and I'm on the gigs, and Bob Kelly's on the gigs.
Yes.
And Bob Kelly's blown out by the side shoes are on the gigs, and Patrice is on the gigs.
And really fast, a message to Buffalo. I mean, your team is kicking my team's ass, but we really do want to go to Buffalo for this O&A Traveling Virus Comedy Tour. I think they're starting to get a petition together and such at the station up there, The Edge. I know Shredder and Reagan are helping us out. I want to go to Buffalo. Yes. We got to make that happen.
And we had such a great time last time we did a live show in Buffalo. We haven't been back
since then, and we're blowing up in Buffalo, and the tour needs to get to Buffalo. I don't know what we're waiting for. Darien Lake is perfect for this tour.
And tomorrow night, I will be in Chicopee doing one show. Because 2 shows, well, let's be honest, that wasn't going to happen.
What?
I just wasn't going well.
Chicopee.
Very surprising. It's Western Mass, not the Boston market. So I'll be up there at the Comedy Connection, just having a ball.
Chicopee.
Louis, Atlanta this weekend.
Atlanta Punchline this weekend. Next week, Caroline's in New York City. And also, Shameless, my HBO specials. You can get it on Amazon right now.
Very cool. All right. Too many plugs for the listeners. You guys figure it all out. I don't know.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they're going to... whatever.
Just listen to the replay.
Hey, guys, thank you so much.
Listening.
We'll see you at XM. If not, have a good day. This show is flying by today. We got Louis C.K. joined us for the walkover to XM. And as we're sitting waiting to start the second half of the show, we're watching TV. And we got the grieving mothers, talking to the media. And we're trying to figure out what would motivate a parent to go on CNN, Fox.
Cry openly on beautifully 3-point lighted television.
Yeah,
3-point lighted.
With the makeup. They had to sit in a makeup chair, and the makeup artist had to say something like, wow, I'm really sorry about what happened.
Oh, yeah, all the little small talk.
Her hair was done. She was wearing, earrings and lipstick and
She had to pick out her TV outfit today.
Of course yeah. What am I going to wear on TV?
Yeah, it's not like someone tapped her on the shoulder and said, hey, you want to talk about it? Oh, my goodness. No, she had to make an arrangement and show up. Somebody fed a microphone up her shirt. Do you mind? Someone had to giggle and go, do you mind your shirt? I don't want to molest
flip it on here.
Yeah. Clipped on the mic.
Does that come down to your desire to always have attention? You're distracted. Your kid died. It's an awful thing. And like Louis said, the phone's ringing and you actually have to put your hand over the receiver and go, it's MSNBC.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I've seen that guy. Brian Williams is hot. How do you just not fucking unplug the phone? How do you not tell any news media that calls you, get the fuck off of my fucking phone?
You got to think there's some parents that got the exact same phone call and said, go fuck yourself.
There has to be. You don't see, 30... I remember watching in Boston years ago, some kid in Medford, or one of those awful shit neighborhoods in Boston, fucking Medford, somewhere next to the fucking airport, next to Logan, over by the Sumner Tunnel, all those fucking cunts up there. So some girl was killed, and it was one of those row houses where there's just chain link fences and just death and bummer.
You just feel death.
Yeah, a bunch of people. Depression. No one cares. So some girl dies, and her brother's on the news, and he looks into the camera because he knows he's on. His sister just died that day.
Yeah,
and he goes, "I hope justice is served. I hope it's served soon and harsh."
And harsh.
And he said it really, and even the reporter looked like, dude, calm down. You're weird.
Yeah. Served soon and harsh.
Yeah, people really love the idea that they're going to get to be the victim on TV. And she cried, not even putting her hand over her eyes, just tears.
Gushing. Yeah, that's a weird
I don't know what goes through your head.
Just once, don't you want to be a parent and see a parent on TV crying about something like that and just go, I'm just thanking God it wasn't my youngest because I do love her more.
Oh, God.
Just to see something so bizarre on television.
Something so out of the ordinary, yeah.
So, like a bad flight or something.
Weird. I'm sorry, but it's
what could possibly come out of it that's positive?
Nothing.
Unless you're using the media to make some kind of stand and try to get changes made and how they handle this stuff and how they prepare for this so it maybe doesn't happen again. Then maybe. I'm not hearing that. I'm just hearing oh, my daughter was an honor student and I can't imagine I would ever do that.
No,
I can't imagine
in a million years. Fucked up people's kids get killed sometimes.
Is it their way of dealing with the situation?
I mean, I'm sorry I'm sorry exactly for the 32 people that were killed, and by the way, the 19 injured who were like, "Hi, I can't walk anymore."
Excuse me,
I'm kind of interesting too.
Injured doesn't mean I fucking cut my finger here. It means my fucking I have bullet holes in me, or my legs are smashed from jumping out a window.
Hello, they just sawed off my leg.
Yeah. It's a drag.
Civil War injury.
Someone got their leg cut off?
Well, I don't know. Oh, I'm thinking the guy that
I'm so gullible.
Well, the guy that had the injury to the artery in the leg, that's never good.
Hope he saw a Union soldier just getting his legs sawed off as they put leashes on it
with a strap in his mouth. He's biting down on the wallet.
Son.
And I'm fascinated by all this media coverage.
No,
and why people do what they do. Hey, Jimmy, so what's the pre-sale? I mean, we can save this a little bit today.
Yeah, the pre-sale.
We messed up big time.
Well, yes, but we didn't. I'm going to say meaning Greg, James, and Ant, if I may.
Hey, the buck stops here.
Yeah, it certainly does, but take the buck and stick it up your mother's cunt.
Have to kind of roll it up and make it stiff enough.
No, you don't. Not your mother.
Now on your fin. Just drop it in and watch it flutter down to the bottom.
Oh, that's good.
I'm also hearing pre-sale ends at 10. We didn't tell people that either.
Well, why would we know that?
We just don't have our... Get Pete on the phone.
Pete sent the right email. That email... Where's Kenny? Oh, Kenny's out. The email Kenny showed me, I will show you, was... it had that you have to click on the... go to opieandanthony.com. Click on the banner. I think they've moved it up. Apparently it was on the bottom of the page, but now it's been moved up for the...
on the page, didn't give out the real info, don't even know that the pre-sale is only an hour. We're just a terrific organization. We're firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on and why we are fucking... I don't know why this is so hard for everyone to kind of get on board with. It's a pre-sale. Give us the info and we'll mention it. OpieAnthony.com I did mention, but the way it was worded on the paper I had was all information is at OpieAnthony.com. That I'm giving out information. That's like saying we can hear the same ship, just go there. But why would people do that when tickets are always on Ticketmaster? Yeah. And I'm telling you, 9 a.m. So you go to Ticketmaster. No, you got to go to myspace.com/OpieAndAnthony or go to OpieAndAnthony.com. And on the front page, it will say pre-sale, and you click on it. And now, this is the first I've heard of it. It's from my friend here, says it's only an hour.
Only till 10 a.m.
Yeah, so that's good. More information that we didn't have until 5 seconds ago.
9:20.
Yeah, 9:20.
Well, who knows what else is? Maybe there's another piece of information that's being withheld.
And you can only get these tickets if you can prove that you have not consorted with any non-whites in the last 30 days.
So what you're saying is tickets, pre-sale tickets, will be available for most of the day.
For most of the day.
Most of the day. 40 minutes.
Hey, great observation. Ed in Dallas, go ahead.
Well, every time Louis C.K.'s on the show, within the first 5 minutes, XM drops the cunt word.
Of course.
And it took him about a minute.
And why not?
Of course.
I love it.
And why not, my
cunt
friend?
is the greatest word that was ever called to a cunt.
I'm putting you on speakerphone, Pete.
All right, now, Pete, I love when everyone tries to defend themselves now.
Can you hear me?
This could be a great... This is going to turn out to be a
women. Pete says, Pete, you're on the air. Do you want to straighten this right out?
Yeah, the pre-sale started this morning at 9 o'clock. It's through a company called Music Today. You can get the link on OpieAnthony.com. The pre-sale goes into at least 5 o'clock tonight. Maybe longer if we extend it a little bit. And that's pretty much all the details you need.
Wait, hold on. Now, where did... Opie just said, because he was told that it ends at 10 a.m. Where did we hear that?
Oh, just some dumb caller that I assumed had the right info. I'm guilty, too.
From the callers?
Opie just got his info from the fucking multimedia manifesto
of a caller.
The guy said 10 with something, and he thought that was when the pre-sale ended. All right, so the pre-sale's going until 5?
It goes to 5 o'clock. There's not a lot of tickets available for each city. They can only get reserved for each city.
Okay, and what do you think about what do you think about the tickets actually going on sale tomorrow?
What do I think about them?
I mean, like, they're going on sale at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and what markets, all that stuff.
They go on sale.
We already know. Shut up.
Goodbye.
Oh, he was all revved up. See, that's how you get Pete talking. You just ask him about fucking dates and ticket sales, and he'll just fucking go.
He's in a lather.
All right, so that's good news. We're till 5 o'clock.
All right, so you could go to OpieAndAnthony.com and click on that link, and you'll get some tickets. Hey, Mark in Jersey, go ahead.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Good. Welcome aboard.
All right. Just wanted to tell you, a friend of mine was...
Sir, Opie was trying to talk.
It don't matter.
Go ahead, Opie. It's your gig. Fuck this guy. No offense, sir.
It doesn't matter.
All right. A friend of mine was killed as a firefighter in the Bronx last summer.
Right.
And the reporters, of course, descended upon the parents' house trying to get the exclusive story. And the parents didn't want anything to do with anybody coming in the house talking to them, completely devastated. And it got to the point where one of the reporters actually posed as a flower girl to get herself in the house to talk to them. And it actually got to the point where some of the brothers took matters into their own hands. And after we detonated a fire extinguisher in the back of a news van, they got the message they weren't welcome.
What'd they do in the back of a news van?
Detonated a fire extinguisher.
Now, let me ask you a question. What was the reporter's name who posed, and what was the network? She posed as a flower girl. Who is she?
Well, I don't want to get anybody in trouble.
Yeah,
what do you mean you don't want to get somebody in trouble?
I don't know if we can confirm this.
Yeah, we could get in trouble.
They're relentless. Absolutely relentless.
All right,
you made your point.
Just
Thank
a
you, sir.
story. If we knew it was true, if
then
he gives a name, then we could be liable.
We're actually smart broadcasters.
Okay.
People don't know that.
I'd love to give out the name. I don't care if it's true or not.
I am a dumb cunt.
She was probably a cunt.
That's right. Hey, could you get her
if
number?
it wasn't her, whoever we name was probably a cunt too.
Absolutely.
Goddamn rich cunt. I kill rich cunt.
What is that?
That's a great
That's
clip.
a show.
Bloom.
That is, Jeff Goldblum from his first
Independence
movie.
Day.
Oh, yeah. Independence Day.
He didn't like the way fucking Judd Hirsch was playing such a fucking mocky.
That's from Death Wish. He played one of the thugs with the Jughead hat on.
Hey,
Jughead hat.
When we were doing the walkover, which we probably should have broadcasted today, Louis C.K. was telling us a horrific flying story.
We told our little story, which now sounds like a cute little airy plane ride. When we had to fly in during the storms into a Newark airport
After our Vegas show.
After the Vegas show, and it was quite the bimpy ride on the way in. We hit the wall of clouds, and then it was nothing but pure whiteout clouds until we broke through. The ceiling was probably at 800 feet.
Well, Louis flew an airline I would not fly.
Really?
No.
United?
I don't fuck with United.
Why?
Exactly for the reason because they're fucking cunts.
That sounds like a take the bull by the horns pilot, though. That's the kind of guy I like. Because I was sitting there in the airport saying, what happened to us was we got on the plane. They loaded up first class. So we're sitting there drinking a drink.
Sipping.
And they start boarding, last class, as Kenny likes to call it. And all of a sudden they get an announcement, could you get up and leave the plane? There's now a delay.
See, I thought they were just talking to coach people.
Exactly.
Because they smell the joint up.
Right. Could you get out? Because we don't want you in here while we're waiting.
But they told everybody to get off the plane because there's going to be a delay.
Plane because it's funny to us.
We want to watch you get off and back on.
Exactly.
So they made us all get off the plane.
Yeah.
Because of delay, because of the weather.
Right.
Then they tell us it's going to be, like an hour or two.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, 10 minutes later or so, they go, all right, back on. We got a window.
Yeah, get in.
Everyone back on. So we all run back on the plane.
Yeah.
And during that time, though, I say, I want a pilot, a man that was been in wars, that just goes, something? Fuck this. Yeah. I've flown in this shit before. We're going for it.
Right. Well, that's what I have.
And just there, you have that.
Yeah, no, sometimes you get a pilot who says stuff like, I had a pilot once who said, they're not letting us take off. LA's locking down because of the weather there, but I anticipate that it'll clear up by the time we get there. So I'm actually telling them we're going to Las Vegas. I've had a pilot say this, and then we'll reroute. You're lying to the fucking tower? Don't lie to them.
Control, we're going to, Las Vegas, Colorado, Nevada, Las Vegas, Nevada. Yeah. Well, we might take a turn somewhere before that.
We're going to Las
Guardia.
But so this guy, we're sitting at the gate waiting, and then he said that actually the delay isn't because of the weather, it's because the fuel gauge is broken on the plane.
Of course it is a hunk of shit airline.
But we had somebody...
They still have the ashtrays in the bathrooms.
Yeah,
that equipment is old.
That's why I can't fly United. I had to once, and I saw ashtrays they still didn't take out of the bathroom, which means, wow, this plane's pretty old. And then they had a razor dispenser or something.
Yeah, you could actually get a razor blade on
You could shave.
Yes.
Right here in the plane, you can shave if you want. The miracle of modern flight.
Yes. Fucking nice.
Light up a lucky strike and join us on a transcontinental flight with no stops. It's the miracle.
As soon as I saw the old ashtrays, and it might not have been United, but it was some airline, it was a white knuckler all the way.
Yes, and the seats have that kind of 60s Mike Brady kind of pattern on them.
Oh, great. If the seats are old, how old is the engine, really?
Exactly.
You're going to tell me they replaced them. Great. That's still not going to give me comfort. But
contact.
Contact.
And the engines are made from space-age polymers.
Yes. So the guy says the fuel gauge is broken, but we filled up the tanks, we topped them off, and we had someone climb up and look in the tank.
That's what you do when you have a motorcycle.
And you don't want to know, yeah, exactly. You don't want to know that there's a dude. You want to think that something really weird and scientific is...
Right.
It's like a dude looked in the wing.
Some guy looked.
I hope that dude is not a fucking idiot. Now I have to hope...
Well, you hope he has depth perception.
And hoping he's not just hung over Oh, yeah, I checked. Exactly. Did you check the wing? I fucking checked.
Of course I did. Shut up.
Fuck you. Fuck all those people on that
But
plane.
since they tell me there's a little, like, minor thing like that's broken, I'm like, what else is broken on the plane?
Yeah, exactly.
And usually when your car breaks down, it's not one thing. All of a sudden, everything is breaking at the same time.
But here's the thing. This was like a little time-release capsule of terror that he left with us because he said, this is no problem because we know we have more than enough fuel to get there. Sure. Because it's full. That would be more than we need, and we can even circle for a little while with that amount of fuel. So then we get to LaGuardia, and we're circling and circling and circling, and then he says, we've only got 20 minutes worth of fuel left. How the fuck does he know that when the fuel gauge is broken?
Yeah.
Yes.
He did a math problem in his head, probably.
He did it. He did it through time. But look, he's saying he knows how many hours you can fly on a certain amount of fuel. Yeah. But if maybe there's more stress on the engine when it's going through bad weather,
headwind.
If he's 5 minutes off, we're gonna drop from the sky like a set of fucking car keys.
Avianca did that.
Yeah.
Right into Long Island. Yeah.
So he goes. We got 20 minutes of fuel left. So and LaGuardia is trying to shut down, but it's minute to minute. So we're gonna go ahead and make an approach to LaGuardia Airport. And as we get closer, if it gets bad, we'll divert and use the last of our fuel to land in Allentown, Pennsylvania. We have enough fuel to do exactly that maneuver.
Oh, my God.
So then he starts coming in.
We'll divert to a place where there's lots of big open fields where innocent people won't be killed.
We will divert to the Verrazano Narrows.
Ladies and gentlemen, one thing you won't have to worry about is fire. There is no fuel left in the tanks.
Yes, exactly.
We are doing 500 miles an hour, but you won't burn. Thank you.
But so he starts coming, and we start dropping down into the clouds. And it's the ugliest fucking... I mean, the clouds are yellow and brown out the window.
It was nasty.
Well, you were listening to it on the thing, right?
Yeah, and so me and the guy next to me, the fucking two idiots, we put on the headphones and listen to the channel that you can listen to the tower. You can listen to your plane talking to the tower. And so he says, United 266, we're making an approach. And then we hear LaGuardia Tower say, do not land 266. The winds are far too heavy. It's not safe for landing. We're shutting down. Don't go divert right now.
How do you not pull the headphones off and just make believe you didn't hear it?
And the guy says we can't divert now. We have only 4 minutes tops of fuel left.
Holy!
So we have to come in.
Oh.
And the tower's saying it's not a good idea, but go ahead because what else are you going to do?
Give it a shot.
Give it a shot, Jim.
All right, hot shot.
And right at that moment, the stewardess comes up to you. Would you like to have some coffee?
No clue. Smiling. The flight attendants are all strapped in and invisible. They're nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
And I'm holding on like it's going to help. I'm holding on to my fucking window, like the edges of the window, I'm stamping my foot just uncontrollably.
Wow, you are fucking scared.
Well, because we keep dropping, and once the landing gear goes down, and there's all that drag on the plane, the thing is pitching and rolling and making impossible banks to the left and right. I mean, it's like a like a joke. And there's a woman behind us holding two children, screaming and sobbing, literally going, "Oh my God! Oh my God!" She's doing exactly that. That's the soundtrack for everyone on the plane.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
And she's got tears bursting like she's on a fucking train to fucking Auschwitz. No, my God, I gotta die. She's saying her kids with her. She's saying we're gonna die to her kids. She's telling her kids they're gonna die.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah, and for the pilot sounding stressed. On even more than I've heard black box recorders, and the pilot sounds like he's smoking a cigarette till the second before death. He's like, "We only have 4 minutes of fuel. We can't divert." Like he sounded like that.
You probably thought you were watching a movie.
Oh no, it was like
wow, this is great.
Why wouldn't this be death?
If I wasn't on this plane, this would be great
awesome.
to listen to.
This is well directed.
Yeah, I love this movie.
I love the woman in the back seat. She was awesome. And we drop out of the clouds, and we see where we are. We are so close to those fucking Queens housing projects that are in the X shape.
Yep.
Like it's like the nightmares you have. If the wing were to tip over, we'd hit.
You're hitting it.
And we're going. I've gone over those housing projects thousands of times. I fly all the time. We're going so fucking fast. We're flying like we're just shooting over Queens.
Man.
And even the most Texan tough guy passengers that were from Denver that were on that plane are like, "Whoa, hey!" Everyone's like, "Shut up!"
hey,
and we just, it was so bad that when I, just to jump ahead for a second, when I got in the cab, the cabbie said, I saw that plane come in, that looked bad. Like, cabbies on the ground.
We're watching that one
because we're the only assholes that fucking landed.
No one else was coming in.
And so we're coming in, and the plane I'm convinced we're hitting the BQE. We're going to just, whatever it is, and we hit the ground so fucking hard, and my heart is racing, and I had tears in my eyes. Just involuntary.
Wow.
Just tears coming down my face, like, what are these? And the pilot says, ladies and gentlemen, you are free to turn on your cell phones and call your loved ones. And every single person with a phone the whole plane was chatter of like, you wouldn't believe what just happened to me, honey. I thought I was going to die. And I looked at my phone and I thought about calling my wife and I was like, fuck her. I didn't call her. Fuck her. I thought I was just about to die, but... Fuck.
You call like a friend.
I don't want to.
Dude, you never guess what the fuck just happened.
Because I know it would have been like, honey, I thought I was going to die. Oh, that's awful. Did you? What time are you getting in? Why are you so? Tomorrow morning, are you going to let me sleep in? Well, honey, I just thought.
Why wasn't that reported?
Fuck you. What the fuck?
Why didn't that story get out? That's obviously.
That guy should be fired. He should be fucking fired.
It was really bad.
The pilot.
It was bad judgment. I think what happened was that he had enough time to do what he thought, but then the tower sent him through an approach that took longer than he expected.
Longer. It's just what happened with Avianca. They were flying around, and that was a language barrier, too. They didn't declare an emergency. They declared something that was just under an emergency.
Yeah.
So they kept diverting them from airport to airport and making them circle, and the plane ran out of fucking gas.
Yep.
And the people that survived the crash were like, all of a sudden you hear this silence, and all you hear is the wind wishing over the wings. Whoosh, whoosh, no more. Whoo. And you know how the noise of the engines kind of cancels out noise in the cabin?
Yeah, no.
You hear everything.
Yeah.
You hear the people in the back fucking row if you're in first class.
Yeah.
And just... And they crashed into the woods.
Yep.
No fire, no explosion, just cracking trees and fucking, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of people live because of that. Right on, kind of near where I live.
When?
When you run out of
about
fuel
10,
on a
12,
plane,
maybe
it's not
longer
like when
now.
you run out of gas on a
15.
car. When you run out of gas on a car, you can actually like use the starter motor to get it a little further.
Yeah,
you can kind of keep sputtering. But on a plane, it's just it's
and
fun.
You can stop and get the fuck out, no matter where you are in a car.
How did the dudes? Because he told us that he couldn't be sure how much fuel there was on the plane before we left.
Right.
He said, "We know the gauges are wrong, but we're going to go anyway because we've seen the gas."
So then you bet it. Well, then, you know something?
But when you get that close, you go, let's fucking land now.
You might even be able to justify that if you're going from point A to point B without any problems.
That's
if
fine.
you're going into weather where you're going to have to circle.
And when you're talking about we have 4 minutes.
4 minutes?
4 minutes left.
How fast is that 4 minutes?
1 minute off, you're dead, and he has no gauge.
That 4 minutes is not 4 minutes in a dentist chair.
Yeah.
That 4 minutes is 4 minutes on a roller coaster.
See, all of our pilots now, all of our pilots are Vietnam combat tested pilots, but they're also fucked up Vietnam vets that kind of don't give a shit. They see some shit.
They just think you're a bunch of faggots whining on the back of the
all
plane.
you people that call me a baby killer, we're going in.
Yeah.
It was 1990?
Avianca. Okay. All right. Well, why don't we take a break and continue? That's
fucking awful.
That's a great.
That is a harrowing experience. Worst flight ever for you, I guess, right?
Easily. I mean, I'm a fucking platinum and 15 different airlines. I fly
1,000,000 miles probably. Yeah.
I fly through bad weather all the. I sleep through it. I don't give a shit. I actually have often turned to people around me on planes that look scared and said, "I've seen this. This is nothing. Don't worry. I don't care. I like flying." The lady behind me, by the way, I kept yelling back, "We're okay!" Like I kept yelling at her.
We're gonna be okay.
We're gonna be okay. Fucking torture.
Oh,
there was something about
worst thing I ever went through.
There was something about flying on Sunday because you could feel it in the air when we were in Vegas. We're getting ready to go. We're like, "Wow, I think this one's gonna be a bad one today."
It was tense
because we also have flown in a lot of bad weather, but nothing like this past Sunday.
It got so fucking quiet in the cabin when we were bouncing around in the clouds. And Patrice turns around and goes, "I just want to," and to all of us, he goes kind of loud. He goes, "I just want to tell you, I love you all," and then turns back around. And the second we landed, he went, "Look, it got a little crazy back there. I got a little scared.
Yeah,
you know." Don't mean nothing by it.
And then they canceled 500 flights after we landed. So
yeah.
they were pretty much closing the airport
about
after we.
the jostling around and shaking and the plane kind of doing those. And I was looking out the window at the wing, and you can anticipate what's going to happen in the fuselage by watching the wingtip. So you can anticipate the bumps.
Yes.
So you watch the wingtip, and man, it's moving like. The wings are flapping. I'm on a fucking
on a goose.
like an 1800s guy's idea of a flying machine, where the fucking where the wings flap and he jumps off a rock and he crashes like that guy's plane.
It's gonna drop a baby into a chimney somewhere. But you taught us that those wings could like touch.
I've seen wind tunnel tests and turbulence tests where the wingtips just about touch on top.
But
they can bend, but you don't ever want to see them moving like that.
Anthony and I had eye contact because we were both doing the same thing, looking out the window like, hello, where's the ground?
Yeah.
We've been approaching for like 40 minutes, and Ant's looking at me, and then we're both looking out the window like... And then finally, when you saw the ground, we were it was amazing how close we were.
A piece of ground come out, and we were low, and I looked it up going, did you see the ground? He goes, yeah, I just saw the ground. and then I'm going, I see more ground. He goes, yeah, it's good. I go, we better start seeing runway, though, because it's getting really low.
No, but when you hit the ground in flights like that, the instant the wheels touch the ground, you're like, I don't care what else happens to me.
Yeah, we can skid off of the fucking runway.
I don't care if country, if Iran invades tomorrow and starts sodomizing me daily.
I made it through
on the ground.
On the ground.
When the wheels hit, it's like that for 2, maybe 3 seconds, you stop breathing.
Yes.
And wait for that quick slowdown. And then you're like,
deceleration.
And then you feel it instantly, like, oh, okay, we're good.
Yeah, get on the phone, call.
And then you just
start worrying about whatever bullshit.
You just get broadsided by a 747 coming in at 500 miles an hour. Hey, we met.
What
happened?
We're gonna break and I guess we don't need bad flight stories today. Louis C.K.
We just heard the topper.
Louis C.K.
What happened, Jimmy? One more. What happened, Jim?
I was flying to L.A. actually, and it was after breakfast, and my cinnamon roll didn't have as much frosting as the cinnamon roll on the person next to me.
Who is it? What were the
fuckers?
It's awful.
You must have been panicking.
Yeah. I had to ring the bell twice to get my tomato juice.
Tom in Tennessee, what's up?
Hey, morning, boys. What's going on? Hey, I worked on jets for 9.5 years, and the pilot told Louis a flat-out lie. You cannot look at the gas in the plane. Really? Everything is sealed. They would have had to bring out major tools to open the tanks up. The whole jet is a big-ass fuel tank, and the wings, the belly, everything.
Right. No, you know what? That makes sense, because it's not like when you fill up a jet, you just fucking... it's not like a motorcycle, you just stick the nozzle between your legs.
I just...
when you kind of tip it around and make it hear the sloshing.
When you told me that, all I thought of was a scene in... The Great Escape, when Steve McQueen takes the gas cap off and shakes the bike a little bit, and then takes off again. It's like,
all they did was rely on the fuel truck, asking him how much he had in the truck and how much he has left.
Oh, God, so somebody's doing like a 7th grade math problem.
And let me tell you, they never top the tanks off.
No, they don't.
Because it would be, it's not fuel efficient.
Right.
They put in enough gas as they need to get from point A to point B, and then some extra for circling. But if you fill your tank up, you're just hauling more weight.
Yep.
So they had just enough.
Thanks, pal. That makes
4 minutes is frightening.
This is really funny. Steve on Long Island, go ahead.
I just wanted to relate a quick story. When I was back in going back to college upstate, we took a Cessna up there, and we got some ice on our wings.
Uh-oh.
And I looked down, bro, and we weren't moving. And all of a sudden, I look at the pilot, and I go, are we going to go down? And he didn't answer, and my buddy in the back goes, we're all going to die! It was the sickest shit.
What happened?
All my life. And we were going backwards because of all the ice on the wings, man. Oh, that was scary.
Going backwards? It might have looked that way, sir.
It's crazy.
Like a piece of paper.
All right.
And
fluttering
then a dragon came along.
Yeah.
That's right.
Plucked us out of the sky.
Right. Don't call the show again. You should have hit a mountain, you cunt.
Kenny, can I help you?
Yeah. Yes, can I say something?
I guess.
If someone will make your microphone work.
Go, Ken, go.
Yes, it was brought to my attention that
hold on, the mic's not on.
Why would it work?
What would be the reason for that? Except for
Dude, Than, the mic's on. Are you plugged in?
Oh.
Hello?
No, okay.
No, now the mic's not on because you gave him a dead
I'm
mic.
hearing some kind of bassy.
Yes?
This is the best part of the show.
Yes.
Yes. Incompetent.
All right. Doesn't sound like as loud as me.
All right.
It's not on, Kenny. I'm not even fucking with you. It's not on.
Is this a bit?
I can't hear it.
His mic
You hear
is
him
not
fine,
on.
Derek?
Are you guys fucking with me?
I am no. I swear to God, I do not hear Kenny.
I don't hear him either.
Give me the
I'm not
signal
fucking
when we're
with
doing a
you.
bit.
You hear him, Louis? Do you hear him?
I swear to God, I don't hear him.
Test.
You hear him? Am I
Wait a
on?
minute,
What the you don't...
Test.
I'm the only one that hears him?
Test.
Look,
I don't hear him in
to
my
prove
headphones.
it.
Testing.
I hear him.
Testing 1 2. Hello.
I hear him through the outside.
Hello, it's Club Soda
God,
Kenny.
What is that? Right? I can hear him totally.
I can't
totally,
hear
Club Soda Kenny.
The fuck, Mars?
Club Soda
Hold on,
Kenny.
Mars will fix it.
Of course he
Mars
will.
he'll hit it with
Club
his stuck
Soda
throat.
Kenny.
Now I
That's
hear
good.
it.
All
So
right.
he was on the whole time, but I was the only one that could hear him.
Now
right?
I hear it. Well, the listeners got more Kenny, which they
That's
love.
more Kenny equals
Thank you,
more
Mars.
entertainment.
Right.
Well, I'll keep it short and sweet.
This. Remember the old days? It was EXT1.
Ah. Was it A or B?
That's going back.
That's an old bit.
It was yeah.
It's always B.
I forgot all about that until just now. Anyway, that's one for the old schoolers. Go ahead, Kenny.
I just wanted to say real quickly, it was brought to my attention that the Mohegan Sun pre-sale tickets are all gone. So let's blow out the rest of the pre-sale tickets.
How many do they have for sale? 20?
You're a regular fucking cheerleader, Kenny. I love it.
How many?
So let's blow out the rest.
Yeah.
Come on, people.
Let's do what we got to do.
It's actually
what is it? 500 a venue is going on sale?
Or 1,000.
Yeah, there's enough. It's special tickets for our special fans, special seats for this special occasion.
So it's special.
Everything's special. Yeah.
So let's guys, we got a few more minutes in that pre-sale. Tickets going like.
Now I'm here at 5 o'clock, Jimmy.
What am I talking about? God, am I dumb?
Yeah, but
we just will never.
It's just a special offer for our special fans. So click on the website or the MySpace and get the pre-sale tickets. And you'll get better seats than the normal people.
That's right.
We got any special sales manifesto.
Do we got?
Was a manifesto.
We got cheap tickets for the poor listeners.
Yeah, in the bigger venues they get the standing room only.
All right, cool.
Yeah. All right. So I just wanted to say that to make everybody.
Those
happy.
people won't heckle.
No. Just standing for hours.
Yeah, but they're so far away you can't even hear them heckling.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, Kenny.
All right, have a nice day anyway.
Thank you.
All right, good. Well, Mohegan Sun.
Club Soda Candy, everybody.
Club Soda Candy. Apparently the pre-sale tickets sold out, according to Club Soda. Very interesting.
What do you guys say?
I am so glad this is the last casino we're playing, though.
Yeah. You're going to go broke, bro.
It's costing me money every gig.
I can't do those either. Oh, boy.
Every gig.
Yeah. Hey, so we got audio of a father and brother going on Larry King Live to talk about her death.
Yeah, see, they went into the studios at CNN in Atlanta. If they're on Larry King Live, they went in, are they there live or are they talking?
Or did they go
Either way, they got driven somewhere, taken in, mic'd.
Had to go through all the showbiz part of the news.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow, that is
mic checks and making sure the lighting's right and the
Hold on for the commercial. Hold on for the commercial.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, could you...
can you hear somebody real friendly? Can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Could you hold off on your despair because we got to fit a few commercials in?
Oh, Jesus.
We got to promote Larry King's 50th anniversary on
Keep
TV.
it,
Yeah, exactly.
All right. We're going to be talking... And
Next
the meeting...
week?
The meeting that they had beforehand.
Yeah.
All right, remember it, guys. Keep it light before we go to air. So don't get her upset. Keep it light, like how you doing, and then once we hit the air, then ask her the questions that are going to get her crying.
No, so they do. If you work in any, I worked at Conan. I know exactly what they're doing. They have a segment producer that calls and says, "What are you willing to say?" and what are your feelings about it?
Comfortable talking,
so
about?
that they know the talking points because they can't just ramble.
Yeah,
it's only a few minutes. So what are you? Why do you tell me some things about him? And will you cry when you say that?
Oh yeah. Oh, when can we expect the tears?
Yes.
Because that's kind of
like
the big
Are you willing to
payoff.
stay gun-toting chink on the air? Because if Larry could
we would
feed
really, we could work off of that.
Yeah.
Gun-toting chink.
Yes,
Oh, thank you.
Oh, Lou, that's
thank you, Pasty Crinkle.
Pasty Crinkle.
He's writing from 3 hours in the past. Hey, Ope, listening to tape show of this morning and want to let you know that I caught the deep reference about diving for morphine. Thank you.
Oh, the Deep. Wow.
You were talking about morphine, and then I'm
Didn't
like,
even hear it.
You're like, well, Jimmy said, can you
I
get
heard that you say that, and I didn't know what it meant. I probably didn't see the movie. I thought it was like the morphine grows under the ocean. I was so dumb.
No, the Deep. That's what they were diving for. Was the morphine?
The little tiny bottles of morphine.
Thank you. It was very obscure, and I'm like, oh boy, I bombed horribly. But
I didn't know. I think it was a serious fact you're giving out.
No.
I don't know morphine facts. What do
you
I
think
know?
morphine comes from the bottom of the ocean?
I didn't say I was a fucking medical student.
As a kid,
you don't have to be a medical student.
As a kid, that opening scene was hardcore porn.
Oh yeah.
What was her name? Just diving in the wet T-shirt,
That
the
was
white
when she was-
T-shirt.
that was when she was hot.
Jacqueline Bisset. Holy shit! The opening scene of that movie.
I remember that
As
when I
just
was a kid, though, because
kid.
it came right after Jaws.
Jaws, yeah.
And we all went thinking that someone would get eaten by a shark.
It was
going to
be
nothing.
Well, that's how they presented it too.
Yeah.
In the trailer, they
Yes.
kind of showed
More
it like it was
eel,
going
right
to
to
be
the
more
face.
Jaws. Yeah, more Jaws.
But it's
nothing.
just Jacqueline Bisset and some fat fucking limey cunt talking about nothing.
Looking for morphine.
Yeah.
And that's how Orca was another one that was
Yes.
going to be the next
Piranha.
Jaws.
Yeah.
That was stupid Piranha. With every flounder.
Orca was annoying. The fucking stupid whale followed him to another country and then fucking bought a condo next to him and fucking started taking his mail. The fucking faggot whale. I hated it. I like when it ate Bo Derek's leg.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, watch, you and Dudley have something in common. Only one working leg for the 10 sequel. Fucking club-footed cancer skull.
The best
have a head full of pudding, silly.
The best was in Jaws 8. She wants to finally escape the shark, so she moves to the Caribbean. I mean, that was just brilliant writing right there.
It's an easy way to get away from the
Why
shark.
not Arizona?
Called fucking Cleveland.
Why not Arizona? I mean, no. I'm gonna get away from all this, and I'm gonna settle down in the Caribbean.
This time it's personal.
Right.
That was the slug line for it.
Did they ever explain why it had to be the Caribbean, or they just make believe that was just?
Yes.
They just... Because otherwise the shark can't eat her.
Yeah, it's a real dull movie of watching her driving to malls and shopping. And
You have to put a hit on her through goldfish and hope she won one at a fair. Like when she falls asleep, the goldfish swims in her pussy and bites her heart.
Swims through her pussy and bites her heart. Hey, that sounds like a fucking Stevie Nicks lyric or something. That's awesome.
Hey guys, we did 4 hours on this today. You want to maybe do something unorthodox and talk about something else?
Yeah.
We got a
German shit videos. Let's talk about them for a couple.
We can talk about the asexual population out there.
What?
People that don't have sex. Asexual, like roaches.
Asexual. And
What about us?
And we got some other stuff. Maybe
What about married people?
You're not having a lot of sex, dude?
What's that?
What's that? No, he means what's that?
Remember.
No, you know what? Even better.
I don't even remember.
Do you get blown a lot?
Do I get blown? Fuck you.
No.
No.
I got blown last night. It was fantastic, and I'm like,
That's great.
I want to come in your pussy. So she climbed on and sat on it, and it made
That's
this. It was
great.
so wet, it made this sound.
That's great.
Wow.
What do you have, a robot? That's great. Jesus.
we got something on kids and how they ruin your sex life and ruin your marriage, and with Louie and
I know because they grow up.
that could be the perfect thing. There you go.
Grow up and start saying no.
Jesus, it's Opie and Anthony. This is unpredictable radio.
Holy crap!
We need to remember that we are professionals in the entertainment industry.
Look at you!
Oh man!
Oh my God, I'm a grown man and I'm being yelled at.
You're idiots!
Well, more symbolism happening on the TV to make us all feel better. Everyone that died at VT will get a diploma when graduation comes around.
See, I misread it. I assumed
Like
you
their
meant
friends or
yeah,
they're
like
traumatized.
No, I thought everyone that is in the
Like the
school
whole
right
class?
now
No.
will graduate.
No, you have to have died.
You have to have died. So the
Yeah.
people that died, that
Yes.
were murdered, get diplomas.
Yes. So they,
What?
This is we were just
What
doing. This is
purpose?
somebody's mom who died that day gets a call.
Yeah.
We have some good news.
Good news. Wait a minute. Is my son alive?
Well, no. He's going to graduate.
Yes.
So you're telling me he's alive if he's going to
I'm saying
graduate?
that he's dead,
this
but
is-
he's getting a diploma.
He's still dead, but a diploma.
How is that
What?
good news?
Because
was
he
a
can
D
get into
student.
law school. Are you kidding? From Virginia Tech? That's a great diploma.
But
that's a great credential.
But you're telling me he's still dead.
Yeah, he's still fucking whining bitch. We let him graduate. By the way, his grades were shit. He wasn't even close, you fucking cunt.
But
he's gonna have a fucking degree from Virginia Tech.
Okay.
That's money in the bank.
Okay, thank you. Thanks
You're
for the
welcome.
call.
Yeah, about time to thank
That should put a smile on your face.
How does that help?
I don't know.
How does that fucking help anybody? Oh my God.
Let's go to Jeremy in Ohio.
Hey, what's up?
Hi.
There it is again. The cunt kills me. Got my daughter saying it now.
Oh. It's all right. She'd have learned it from her husband someday anyway.
Is she saying, Daddy, stop fucking my...
Oh, my God.
Blank.
No, she's not saying that.
Hold on. That was as vulgar as that could have been on every level. Cunt is in there. Baby incest and Daddy, stop fucking my... All right, you talk. No reason for me to try to improv. Go right ahead, sir. It's all about you. I didn't mean to riff and have fun. Go ahead.
I left it the word out.
I was dropping her off this morning, and she said cunt. And I was like, oh, God, here it starts. Because my wife already gives me a hard time because I go around saying cunt all the time.
Well, what was that? I like that there's no context because that makes me picture just some kid getting out of the car in front of the school going, cunt.
I can't believe I got to fucking go to school again today.
She just yawns and it comes out. Cunt.
Can't believe Dad's such an asshole.
All right. We should get into some other things.
Mm-hmm.
The kid thing is an old thing. Whatever. How kids get in the way of love and sex and stuff. Mm-hmm.
So what do you want to?
What else about the gun-toting slope?
No, I mean there's no new developments there.
Well, we have some audience members out there.
What?
I mean, we have a big crowd.
Yeah, we got 3 guys,
2 couples, and some guy that's trying to pay them for a threesome.
No one brave enough to take the couch today, the front row.
Yeah, they're
seat.
way in the back today.
Yeah, why? Oh, low self-esteem.
I don't
Sit
know.
up front in the couch.
Also, we never took our penis power stories from the women yesterday. From that audio we played.
My girlfriend was mad because I kept sending her IM saying that she wanted me to bottom out when I fucked her.
Yeah.
She's like, what? That's painful. I'm like, yeah, but it's a good pain. She's like, what do you want? What are you doing?
You're trying to show that you have a big cock.
I don't.
When is she going to Rome?
That's what she wants, and I can't handle it.
Oh.
When's Rome?
She's not going.
Oh, she's not. Yeah,
No,
you put your fucking foot down. Nice, Jimmy. Good boy.
I wouldn't care if she went to Rome.
Good boy.
I trust her.
That's the official story. I know. That's fine. You say that out in public, but I understand what you did, and good for you,
Are you
Jimmy.
going to Rome?
No, she was going to go because her one of her best friends, who's been there for 5 years, invited her actually to leave tonight and go for 4 days, and she finally has the money for airfare.
Her friend's been there for 5 years, so her friend knows all these fucking guys and shit. Get the fuck out of here.
Hold on.
Don't send her to Rome alone with someone that's...
Hold on. Her friend has a fiance, and they live together, and my girlfriend will be staying with them.
So her friend won't be fucking. That's nice.
Hey, can we tell the boat story yet when we were on vacation in Turks and Caicos? Speaking...
Oh, God, with the fucking horny captain.
Like, when you, back in the day, we all went to Turks and Caicos, and, you fly out of JFK, and you pretty much see the people in the airport that you're going to be hanging out with for the next week at Club Med. It's a Club Med plane.
Okay.
So there was this woman, and we saw her saying goodbye to her boyfriend, and she was really sad that she's going to be away for a week,
They're
right?
crying, hugging each other at the fucking...
What we saw while she was on
airport.
vacation...
So, yeah, we kept seeing her around. And I guess she was with friends and stuff like that. We went out on this
snorkeling trip or something.
And we had to cut it a little short.
Oh, it was the party,
It was a booze cruise beach party, whatever the fuck it was. We were on a boat in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And we had to head back. There was a storm coming. So the waves are getting a little choppy. And the captain, this fucking guy... This guy from fucking Turks and Caicos.
Yeah, he's decided, look, I'm down here to get pussy.
Yeah.
Like, he figured it out a while ago.
That's why they work there at Club Med. Club Med ain't paying a lot. There's a bunch of guys that are just trying to get pussy.
And this chick got so drunk on the punch, and now she's flirting with the guy that's driving us back.
Beer and sangria, and she's flirting, and we're driving through this fucking rainstorm. So he invites her underneath his little awning and the captain thing. The next thing we know, she's on her fucking knees, blowing the guy. Blowing the guy as he's driving the fucking boat in a torrential, torrential downpour.
We see the storm coming, and the guy's slowing down. He don't give a shit.
Because he doesn't want to get back now.
No,
so he's slowing the boat down. And we're thinking, this guy's going to get us fucking killed because he's getting head.
Yeah.
This woman is right underneath where the fucking wheel is.
Her knees are in, like, rusty red paint.
bilge water. You just the little the skipper's wheel is going ding 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 off the top of her head with the little handles on it.
Ding 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 ding. Full speed ahead. Ding. Whoops, sorry. Yeah. You just knew what was going on.
And so when she was crying to her boyfriend, she's crying in anticipation of the pain of an island black penis breaking her ass.
And again, we all took the same plane back. Isn't
that romantic?
How romantic. We take the same plane back, too, because the whole thing's a charter. So she's on the plane again, and we got to see the greeting back at the airport. The boyfriend waiting, and she's like, baby, running into each other's arms. Big kiss, and we're just like,
fucking tasting.
It tastes like conch. He tastes like a conch shell.
He wonders why her mouth is fucking propped open like a scream mask. Like, what happened?
Her tongue is all salty from that old salty dog.
Too bad you didn't get a picture of it. You could have showed him. So this is what she was doing.
Hey, dude, by the way, you want to see a nice picture?
Her fucking flip-flops sticking out from underneath the fucking skippers.
This girl, she was a dirty girl, man. You saw her around Club Med just getting hammered and flirting. And, there she runs into the arms of her boyfriend back at JFK.
Listen, here's the difference.
Yeah, what?
Rome. She'd be with her friends. It's not a big...
Yeah, but Rome is full of fucking Italian men.
Exactly.
Fucking horny dagos.
You got to look at it from her point of view. You think about... I mean, it's for her, it's like going to a strip club.
Yep.
Rome is full of brown, kinky-haired, fucking hot guys.
Right, why would she...
All these Italian guys that want fucking sex.
I don't think she would fuck around.
She's on a scooter. She's going to get a scooter, have a Vespa in her vagina.
She's one of the only girls I've ever dated that I really trust. I don't think she would fuck around.
And why misplaced?
Why isn't she going? Did you say that?
I'm sure it's fine.
No, I actually told her I did trust her. She's like, it's just a matter of logistically, it's too soon to plan everything.
Sure.
Her friend's birthday and stuff like that.
That's good. It's friend's birthday, sure.
Get the whatever story you have to tell.
And I'm sure that she would have invited me. I mean,
of course.
Like
she really?
Maybe thought I was busy, even though I'm going to be on vacation next week.
Huh?
I didn't get the invite.
That's weird.
It's interesting. Okay.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Nah, it's all good.
Why would you
she's
go?
A cool chick.
Yeah.
Why would I want to go and have fun in Rome?
Yeah. Rome. It's not like there's anything to see there.
I get invited like
single thing.
I get invited to stuff like by proxy. Like, well, you can go if you want.
It's like Patterson, New Jersey.
Yeah, exactly.
Just nothing.
But you know how you get invited to stuff? Not like, baby, let's go to Rome together. Like, I'm gonna do, like, it's almost like you get the statement, like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You're like, okay, and then they hear the thick silence, and then like, I mean, well, you know, if you want to go, you can.
If you want to.
Yeah.
All right.
If you want to go and push the Italian's cheeks. Always treating my mouth like a pocket pussy.
Let's go to Jack. Jack in Boston.
Yeah, it's Jimmy. I love you guys. Love the show.
By the way,
Jimmy,
whatever. I was just going to give you a little info, but
my friend was going to speak. Go ahead, Ope. You do it. You take the helm.
I just want to let people know the local station that we're on up there, BCN, is giving away tickets every hour for their
excellent
for our tour. That's hitting Mansfield. So another way to maybe get some tickets for yourself.
Listen to BCM.
All right, Jack. Sorry, go ahead.
Go, Jack. Go.
All right. When I was in college, my fiance went to Rome. Within 3 days of her being there, we were no longer engaged, and she was fucking some Italian dude. So, Jimmy, you're fucked.
The difference is that you're an ugly faggot, and your fiance was a cunt.
Yes.
Well, that's also true.
Jim is a talented, interesting, handsome fellow,
and dude,
his girlfriend's pretty cool.
Yeah, I am a sweet boy, and if you've seen, like the way I eat pussy and ass, I mean, fucking good, man.
Yeah. Yeah, but at least I can bottom out.
Can you? How big's your dick?
How big is my dick?
Yeah.
Well, you know,
big enough to bottom out an 11-year-old girl. An 11-year-old corpse. Fucking his dead niece daily.
I love funny people.
Bottoming out gets easier every day because it's shriveling and death, shrinking.
What is better than hanging out with funny people?
Shrinking like an old pumpkin. All right.
Oh, you bottom out an 11-year-old corpse. Oh,
thank God I don't have the most offensive thing I've said today.
It
goes into your hands.
Dude, it's fucking having funny friends. It rules.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
It fucking rules.
Laughter's the best medicine. Thank you.
That's what they say.
You're right, Lou.
Yes. Let's go to Raul from Florida. Raul.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Raul.
Hey, guys. I was just surfing online today, and I went to a website called Joystick, and they had this thing about the guy who shot those guys in the school.
Yeah.
His name, what is it? Chow Sung Hui?
Yeah, whatever.
And he had no video games at all. So they have no right to blame it on video games.
I heard Counter-Strike was brought up last night on TV. What was that about? What was the angle with Counter-Strike?
It's a great game.
It is a great game.
A lot of fun.
I don't know.
I play it.
Thanks.
Yelled at by fucking kids.
Fucking nailed you, dick fuck.
And they all curse with their little headsets. Because now you can hear it.
You can
and
hear
talk.
each other.
Oh.
Crazy.
Fuck you, douchebag.
And you're like, what? I want to play the game. It was so much better when it was just text.
Yeah.
You know, now you hear their voices, and they're just kids. Like, just, and they just fucking nail you, too.
Yeah.
You run around a corner, bam, right in the face.
Dad, dick. Fucking noob, you stink.
Yeah, I stink.
Their little voices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember my fucking 40s running around like an idiot, getting just fucking shot at every turn. And that's how you hear it.
Look at this fucking asshole. Look at him. Let's just stay here. I'm going to stay by the spawn and just shoot him every time he reappears.
I had a great trick, though, for those little fuckers when I was playing Half-Life Team Fortress. And it's a great game. Another one, you know, you're out there just playing online against a bunch of people.
Sure.
But they had this thing where you were able to tag walls. And they had, like, little things you could download to tag, like, a skull. Right. You walk up to the wall and hit a T, and it would make a spray paint sound like, and you'd see a skull up on the wall. Kind of cool. But I also figured out how to take pictures and put them up on the wall. So I would take these nude fucking hardcore pornography,
These kids
put it in, spray paint it up on the wall, and then take cover behind a barrel.
Right.
And the kids would run up, and you'd see them looking up. Their character would actually be standing there, and there were 5 of them. And I'd throw an explosive pack and fucking detonate it and watch them go flying.
Oh, my God.
It's hysterical. You hide under the stairs.
It's like kryptonite to these kids.
Oh, they would stop dead. They'd run, stop dead, and look at it, and just fucking unload on them.
It's a good way to beat a child in the video game. Show them a cock or a cunt.
What is this, Danny? Best spray ever?
Let me get on the mic.
CT's
an 11-year-old corpse.
Spray is on the
bottom out.
I used to play Counter-Strike a bunch too, and I'll never forget one time I was running through one of the maps, and I was a counter-terrorist in Counter-Strike. And what they would do is they would spray the opposing team on the wall. So I'm sitting there shooting what I think is the enemy.
Oh, fuck, that's great. What a
I'm
good
really
idea.
just shooting the wall, and the guy's behind me just watching. And like once I'm done with my clip, and I'm on my computer going, "What the fuck? Why won't he die?" He just headshot, bam.
Oh, wow.
I watched.
That's a great gag.
It was great. I watched him do it all day long. It was fantastic.
Very good. Let's get another story from Rome. It's Matt in Jersey. Matt.
O&A, what's up?
Hey there, Matt.
Last time we did this bit, it was about Jamaica.
Jamaica, where you just, man.
They came out of the woodwork, but now it's about Rome. Matt, go ahead.
Little Jimmy.
What up, Matt?
That baloney fits.
What's that? I'm good, buddy.
He's in good shape now. Shut up.
That's right. I'm 5'7" of rock.
Hey, brother, I'm 5'8" of mush.
All right.
All right.
Get to your story, fucko.
When I was in college, my girlfriend went to Florence, brother, and I'm telling you, those guys over there, they prey on American women.
Yep.
Prey on them. She ended up hooking up with a Carbonari, which is like their local level state police, and I went to visit her, and the first night I got there, we had sex, and I could tell immediately she had just got split wide open, brother.
Listen to me.
Wide open.
First of all, my girlfriend's already been there. Second of all, if she wants to bang someone, she could do it here.
Right here in the old US of A.
And third of all, again, she has me at home.
I'm just going to visit Furio.
Shut up.
No, I don't think she would. And honestly, I don't
First of all, your girlfriend's mouth never doesn't taste like cum.
Never. My girl, I haven't trusted women since I had an incident, a humiliating incident in about the 5th grade, which is coming out in therapy that I'm remembering.
5th grade?
Yeah, just a thing with trust. I know.
Can you share it, or is it you're still working through it?
Oh, it's not painful like on that level. It's just embarrassing. Like here's why I don't trust women.
Not the Stickerbush story.
No.
Love the Stickerbush.
I was in love when I was a boy. My little girlfriend's name was Jill, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. And on wheels. And I had like a boy crush on her. We never even kissed. I remember she said like years later that my lips were too chapped. And I probably liked her more than she liked me. But I remember one day I went to her house, and I didn't know this would happen. And my friend Andrew Cantor was there. And, we were all like in the same grade. And Jill told me...
I can't wait to see this animated.
I know.
Every time Jimmy tells a story about his youth now, I see it in flash animation.
Just use his name Andrew. Don't use his last name. He might not like it. But Jill and Andrew were hanging out, and it's weird for me that they get there. I think I had to ask her, well, can I come over? And she was like, if I remember correctly. So I'm sitting there. I think we all went down to the basement, and then her and Andrew went upstairs to get something. And they were gone for a while. And I was such a stupid little Jimmy Norton just sitting in the basement. And I found out, like, years later, he told me that they were making out upstairs.
Oh, no.
See, the part of the story, though, that is a tiny detail for you, but amazes me. You say she didn't kiss you. I found out later it's because my lips were too chapped.
Yeah,
that means there was a conversation where you said, hey, years ago when you wouldn't kiss me, she's like, who's this? Jim Norton. You wouldn't kiss me. Jim Norton, why didn't you kiss me? Your lips were chapped, you fuck.
No. We were talking. Here's what happened. We were talking. I saw her years later. We saw each other briefly, and we were joking about different stuff. And she goes, I remember your lips were always chapped, so I kind of figured that's why.
Oh, so you put two and two together.
I didn't mention the kiss. I asked her for a kiss, and it was so awful the way I asked.
Oh, that's...
What'd you do? What'd you say?
But I found out that her and Andrew were kissing upstairs. And he told me a couple years later in high school. Like, this is like 6th grade, so 4 years later he told me, and I was in a rage. I didn't tell him.
4 years later, you were in a rage about that.
Oh, my God. Because I was felt so stupid for, like, having, like this girl not known. But I asked her to...
her and her fucking faggot Andrew.
Please, now it's easy for me to say because I've experienced trannies. But I was, when I was in 6th grade, or 5th grade, I asked her for a kiss, but I didn't know how to ask for a kiss. So this was the truth. I sat my father down, my fucking awful advice dad. I think he fucked one woman in his life, and I showed up. I said,
I'm not doing that again.
How do I kiss a girl? And he goes, walk over and ask her if you can smell her breath. And when she breathes in your face, lean in and kiss her. Which is almost an assault.
Kind of a sexual assault, yeah.
Oh, my God.
So I knew at that age that was awful. So Jill and I are standing by like this little creek in Hidden Lake, New Jersey.
The one she's in now?
Yes, the one she wound up in an hour later with fucking a rock with hair matted to her next to her.
Loaded out.
And she fucking...
Big puffy hands like Mickey Mouse.
That's true. Someone found her when fucking turtles ate half of her face. And I didn't know how to ask for a kiss because I couldn't just say it. So I was such a schlep. I was kicking the rocks. And I'm like, I want to ask you something. And she's like, what? I'm like, you know the name of my favorite band?
Oh God, hold on. I can't look at Jimmy now.
I can't either.
All right, I'm stuck.
Oh, Jim, that's
not looking at Jimmy.
That is so generous of you to share that. That's so beautiful that you tell everyone that. Because no one should know it. Oh, my God. You should have not told us, and you should have killed her so she couldn't tell nobody.
You know the name of my favorite band? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, well. And then she just kind of blew it off and didn't answer.
She just wanted that to go away.
It was as I stood there with my cowlicked hair and my fucking chapped lips.
She silently says to herself, Jim, good luck living that down for the rest of your shit life. You enjoy the trannies that will not erase the memory.
So that's when I think my trust issues with women started once I learned that.
All right, let's go to Illinois. Ron, what's up?
Hey, O&A, how you guys doing?
What's up, man?
Good.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm listening to you guys talk about the whether or not the video games can have an effect on the kids, and the only thing I'm thinking about is, you remember the 80s when everyone was looking like Michael Jackson and dressing up like Madonna, and the military today using computer animation to kind of desensitize the airplane pilots? Why can't that apply for psychos?
Well, what are you saying? Video games might be in some way responsible?
Well, not you and I with the quote-unquote normal.
But that's anything. Like, we can't gear the lives of everyone on this planet around nut jobs or children or things like that.
It's like you were saying earlier. Why would we think we're far away from this? Like, why did this happen? It's not because it's some mysterious video game.
Yeah.
It's because killing people, it's interesting to watch people's heads explode.
Yeah.
And life is cheap.
That's pretty much it.
And because really, what the fuck? You should really actually be killing and eating people. Like, what's stopping you?
The only thing you missed out on is eating.
It's not part of your body, so let it die. That's the
but
way.
we're overlooking the fact that maybe we are desensitizing the children.
No, we're not. You know what? You know what? We're not. The people are going to be nuts. There's going to be nuts in the world. There are going to be people that can handle video games by the billions, and then one or two that can't. So, even if video games were directly responsible for a nut job shooting everybody.
Nobody is responsible except for the faggot chink with the gun who shot those kids.
Oh, absolutely.
Awful writer.
Yeah, we're never going to have a perfect society. You know, one guy messes up because he can't handle video games, so now we all
take
have
it
to
away
suffer?
from everybody. The children might be affected, so take away any adult entertainment.
Doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I think the thing that's confusing me is they're going on right now about the letters that he wrote and how psychotic it is, and the professors don't, blah, 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 these papers he was writing. What's any different than going to the movie theater and watching Saw?
What?
Well, there you go, answering your own question.
Good.
What is the difference, sir? I'll tell you what.
You, Senator.
$9.50 plus popcorn.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
All right, thank you.
I have one quick story about Rome, by the way, because this guy mentioned the Carabinieri, the state police there.
Yeah.
I was in Rome once. I went to Russia and Rome by myself.
Ooh.
Just pathetically. Spoke to no people for 2 weeks. Made no connections with anybody.
But that sounds so exciting.
It was interesting. I saw some cool shit. But
after a few days, were you going like, "What the fuck am I doing?"
Yeah, I'm in hotels. I could be in a hotel in fucking Newton, Massachusetts,
in Phoenix or something.
Yeah. So I'm in a car that I rented in Rome. And I'm looking at beautiful countryside. These are postcards out my window. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. And
I'm driving down a highway in near Rome. Through the countryside, and I'm like, I'm going crazy. I haven't talked to anybody, and there's a roadblock of Carabinieri state police, and they look like Nazis. They have high hats and boots up to their knees, and they have arrête or whatever stop signs. They have a roadblock. They're stopping traffic, and I just have this weird idea in my head. Nothing's happened to me, and I don't care what happens to me now, and I gunned it. And I went around them a little into opposite traffic.
What the
I swear to God, I did this.
you?
Wow. I floored it, went around a guy. And then I look at my rearview mirror, and they're running on, like it's the Pink Panther or something, like shaking their fists. And I'm like, fuck it. Get in your cars, chase me, put me in jail. I'd actually happily be in an Italian jail, meet some Italian people.
He's insane.
Because I hadn't had, the guts to say hello to anybody.
That is great.
So what happened? Nothing fucking happened. They shook their little fists. They got small in my movies. Yeah. Oh, they got small in the mirror, and I went on, and nobody did anything.
That's fantastic. It's like a little bit of excitement. If you got caught, you'd have to interact with people.
I'd be at some sergeant's desk who'd be typing my name, and they'd call somebody at home.
Smoking cigarettes that weird European way.
Yeah.
With their thumb and forefinger.
When you see, O.J.
backwards.
Simpson, there was nobody even charged. He didn't even get charged for taking the police on a high-speed chase.
No.
There's those things. And when you watch cops, when they get a guy, well, he did a little, he got a fine for the chase. Nobody cared.
Jesus.
What would have happened? I would have spent one night in jail and paid a fine and had a really interesting experience.
Yeah, interesting jail. You don't know what Italian jails are like.
Exactly.
Big unclipped cock going into your ass.
Fucking hang me for dodging a fucking...
Hey,
they find out I'm not a criminal. I'm just some asshole.
American comedian dies in hail of bullets.
Because he didn't pay attention to a stop sign.
Hey, back to the gaming thing. A couple of instant feedbacks. Used lad bag. Confession time. I was a little fag who played Dungeons and Dragons when I was a kid. And people used to say it leads to devil worship and violence. The truth, updated. The truth, we were just douches. And then Pat from Foxborough. I play Madden 07 all the time, but I don't play for the Patriots.
Yeah, see?
It's the most. There's two hacky comedian bits out there right now. I'm on the road a lot now, watching middle acts.
Great.
One of them is teachers molesting their students. This didn't happen when I was a kid.
That whole
I do that.
And the other, you do that. And then the other one is video game. I played Frogger, and I don't walk out into traffic
and get hit by a car.
I do that one.
Let's take a break. Louis C.K. is going to be at Caroline's next weekend.
Next week.
And Atlanta Punchline this weekend.
This weekend.
Well, we got some audio from the Tonight Show appearance.
Opie and Anthony.
It's great.
They're like the hottest guys on radio.
Wow, that's really nice.
Really nice. Opie and Anthony Show on XM Satellite Radio.
It starts with an O&A plug before headlines.
Opie and Anthony Show on XM Radio.
Very nice.
Tested.
Leno approved.
They plugged us like 3 times last night on the show.
The Opie and Anthony Show.
The hottest show there is. Hottest show there is.
Oh my God, that's got to be on the radio. Louis C.K. in studio. It's the Opie and Anthony Show. Describing life on the road as a comedian.
Oh, Jesus.
Describing jerking off,
which is synonymous with life on the road.
You wake up around, 11 a.m., wake up maybe, and then you jerk off and go back to sleep. And then you wake up, put on the SpectraVision on the hotel, watch 50 of them before you find something that will get you hard so you can go on the internet. You're not even jerking off to the shit. It's spent about $1,000 right there.
You need a fluffing video.
Yeah, and then to go on the internet, get some old pictures, fucking call phone sex, a few different lines, fucking jerk off. It's now like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I haven't seen daylight. The drapes are all down because I sleep during the day.
Right.
3 p.m. I'm fucking hungry. I get room service, go back to sleep, wake up at like 5. Go to the shit mall, get a soft ice cream, watch a movie. Go to the comedy club. The manager says, "How you doing?" And I go, "I'm all right." I just spoke my first words to a human being. Do a show, up all fucking night because I slept all day. Fucking nobody to talk to. Calling the West Coast because some of those people are awake a little
jerking
later.
off and eating too at night at fucking 2 in the morning.
Jerking off is just part. This is like the time, like the clock running.
You're just
constant jerking off. Calling people on the West Coast who I don't even know it very well because I want to talk to somebody. And anyway, multiply this by 2 weeks or so on the road. I retreat even more and more from people because I feel disgusting for what I'm jerking off to during the day. And then I go home to my wife, and it's like coming back from Vietnam. I don't relate to my family anymore.
You wouldn't understand.
I'm Bruce Dern, fucking taking off my clothes and walking into the ocean. I just fucking can't relate to society.
Sell the car,
anymore.
sell the house, sell the kids. Send that letter.
Yeah, exactly.
That Kurt's letter.
Just less and less
Colonel
able
CK.
Colonel CK. Yeah. Nothing to say to her.
Oh, damn.
My wife is like fucking a astronaut's wife with a shaky cigarette in her hand. He's fine. We all love him here.
Very proud.
When was the last time you saw your family? You've been on the road for a while, right?
This morning I'm in New York. We're all in the city, so I saw my family this morning. My wife came into the city only because we had to go to couples therapy, so she brought the kids.
Today?
Yeah, we went yesterday.
You ever just yank your cock out and say, "Why don't you toot on this for a few minutes?" That's how you got to do it, man, as a married guy.
Holy shit, that's a great idea.
How's that working out?
If I did that, she would just do whatever she was doing. She wouldn't even look. We don't look at each other. If I took out my dick and said, "Why don't you toot on this for a while?" she'd keep whatever fucking emailing. She'd be looking at whatever real estate wherever she wants to live when she leaves me. She'd be like, "I'm sorry, did you say something?"
And the counseling
it would be nothing.
The counseling is obviously her idea.
Oh no, I wanted.
You went for it.
Yeah. I'm the one who said I wanted to go. This fucking guy we did it last time we went. It's a double session. It was $800.
Wow.
$800.
What does he do? Eat both your assholes while he talks to you?
Jesus. That's
$800.
Wow. How's it? Is it doing anything?
Oh, it's great. Everything's great.
It's great. Everything's great.
Oh, worth every penny.
It's fantastic. Great.
Yeah.
$400 a person?
Well, it's $400 an hour. He don't break it up by the person.
Oh, you go 2 hours?
Yes, couples.
What is it, a drive-in movie? He puts her in the trunk before he drives. Hey, there's only one person here. Listen up, honey.
Is there anything you could share from those get-togethers?
Well, no, not anything about us. The guy, though, the first day he's telling us about it. A lot of times they tell you about other couples to give you comparisons. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Hey, I know a couple because I'm on the road a lot and I work a lot." So he's like, "It's hard for people with careers. I know a couple. She's a lawyer and he's a sports writer." Right away, I'm like, I can Google that and make some connections.
Yeah, really.
Down.
I can figure
and
that
he's
one
like,
out.
while he's covering March Madness,
he's a lawyer. He's a sports writer.
And he goes, while he's covering March Madness, and she's lecturing about pornography and law around the. So I'm like, I know who these people are. Yeah. I can figure it out in 10 seconds. Why are you telling me this?
The next couple's going to come in and he goes, I know a couple.
I know a couple. He's on stars in Lucky Louie.
Lucky Louie.
The first initial in his name or LOUI. Fucking douche.
That's got to be something, though. You ever sitting there and listen to like a therapist or something and go like, he doesn't get this at all? Or...
No. Well, the thing is, what happens in therapy is you get it. You really say the shit. It's only because my wife, I know she doesn't have XM in the car she's in that I can say that the other day she said, she pointed at my head and said, I hate him.
Oh, at the head.
Yeah, at my head.
Oh, yeah.
So here's the thing. You get in there and you fucking have it out. You say everything. And then you get addicted to that. And you can say, outside of the therapist's office, you can say nothing. Like, outside of the therapist's office, we're just, like, at home, we're just, like, just bullshit talking about, what did Rosie O'Donnell say today? Like, we can't, but if we start talking about anything real, it gets lightning rodded to what we fucking have said to each other. And if he's not there, we're going to kill each other.
Wow.
So we can only talk for 1 hour a week.
She said, I hate him.
And we spend all the other hours of the week in this strange avoidance. If we were in a boxing ring during the week, people would be whistling and throwing paper and do something. And then for that 1 hour, oh yeah, motherfucker, it gets hot in there.
I don't know how far we can take this, but why do you guys hate each other? Or can you discuss that?
What did you think when she said, I hate you? What did you feel when she said, I hate you?
I hate you too.
Okay.
Is it just over time, slowly but surely, the relationship broke down, or is this, was there
we got 2 kids. I think it's like this for almost any marriage, except for that we have... The thing is, we have a traditional marriage. I make all the money, and she raises the kids. But we have a traditional marriage in 2007, which means that you can't just say that.
Not traditional.
No, I don't get to say, I bring home the bacon.
Right.
You watch the kids.
You fry it up in a pan.
Fry it up in a pan.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. I bring home the bacon. I fry it up in the pan. I feed it to the kids. And if I mention that I pay the bills, I'm a fucking asshole. Like I'm a piece of shit for, like somehow I'm being... prehistoric but it's true that I pay so it's hard. Like marriage is harder now, I think, than it ever has been. And it's not like this guy, he wrote a book, the guy we're going to, and it's all about how it's hard for marriage now because when the women work. My wife doesn't fucking work.
So your theory of your book goes out the fucking window.
Yeah. It's hard, but mostly it's because when you have kids, it's hard to fuck anymore, and you also care about your kids far more than you care about your spouse. I mean, my kids are my life now. I really don't give a shit about her. I really don't, because how could I next to my kids?
I'm laughing because I'm fucking stunned. It's just like a stunning thing.
The honesty. Yeah. The honesty.
Well, it's true. If our kids, look, I've got a lot of history with my wife, and there's a lot. It's a complicated relationship, and I feel I feel a lot of push and pull in many directions, and I'm fighting really hard to save it. We're in therapy, and my whole life right now is focused on saving our relationship and getting it back to somewhere good.
Right. Oh, but
it's the biggest deal in my life. But if my kids weren't here, I wouldn't even call her to say goodbye. I just walk. I wouldn't leave a note. I would just stop being near her fucking cancerous body.
You're saving it for the kids then.
Totally, 100%.
That's why I'm so glad I never had kids. Oh my God! Because the whole thing you're talking about, like I used to get ragged on for not doing things chores around the house. Right. I had these set chores to do. There weren't much, but it was like, why? I'm going out. It's a new career for me doing radio. Yes. I'm really like learning the trade at the time. This was, years ago. And she's not working, and I'm bringing home the money. And believe me, a lot more money than I was when we were both working, and I was knocking tin.
Yeah.
But then,
the money you brought in just to help you out a little bit gave her the luxury of not having to work.
Yeah, not having to work.
Right.
Which is kind of key, I think, to that whole thing.
But then there'd be these little chores I would have. Like I'd have to take out the garbage, and it was my job to vacuum. And like if I didn't do it, I would be ragged on. Like I remember my mother fucking yelling at me for not vacuuming.
No, and the thing is, to me, if you don't have kids, I don't get any of it.
And that was it.
If you're married and you don't have children and you have a bad week, get the fuck out. Why the fuck would you save a marriage that's stressful?
Right.
When you have kids, that's everything. You got to stay together for the kids because you got to be. It's not even that they need to have two parents to be together. It's just that you want to be there for your children because you fucking care about them. But you got to look at it on the other side. Like the thing about having kids too is that spend one day, if you have kids, spend one full day with them where you're like, every time I give my wife a break,
I fucking totally realize what she's going through. It's fucking murder. You want to kill everybody in the world. When you're alone with kids and you don't have... I mean, I have a job. Even when I'm taking care of the kids, I fucking got my computer on my knee and I'm working. Like I'm fucking writing a movie.
Yeah, you're still working.
Yeah, I'll call... Just to make myself feel okay about the fucking... trap that children feel like on a given day, I'll call my manager and just say, what's going on? And he'll be like, well, we just booked another O&A date in Camden. Oh, good. You know, go read a story to my daughter. You know what I mean? Because I'm not sitting in a room reading fucking The Happy Hen and nothing else is going on. I've got a show I just booked in Camden. I'm put on my website. There's people talking about me around the country, buying tickets to my shows, ordering my DVDs on Amazon. That helps me sit in a room and read to my boring little kids. But my wife has fucking nothing except to focus on what a piece of shit I am for dropping cum into her and making people that have ruined her life. That's all she's got. So I actually completely see her side to it. We are, and what we found out in therapy is that we're trapped and that it's neither of our faults.
So how?
But that doesn't make us go, oh,
the only solution is killing the children.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
throwing them into a garbage can and letting them die next to a rat in a milk carton.
And you two just, like, spur of the moment, laughing, heading off to the Caribbean.
Oh, my God, we'd have a ball.
Just having fun like the old days.
I actually think if, like, when I picture that, if we got rid of the kids, I would walk out the door. Actually, what I do is fuck her face, and we'd probably get along great.
Why don't you guys go on vacation together? Leave the kids with one of your parents for a few days, and seriously, go away for a few days.
I want to punch you in the face for saying
that. Is that bad?
Oh, shit.
Is that bad? I don't know.
It's just so complicated. One of them, she's still breastfeeding the kid who's 2. Can't get the kid away from her. No, it's a mess. Never do that. Never do that.
Wow, man.
It's like walking up to a guy in a concentration camp and going, why don't you just take a little trip somewhere and get out of here? If you don't like it here, why are you hanging around?
No, but I mean, you can't give them to, like, their parents or something like that?
Because there's Nazis that will shoot me in the face if I leave.
2's too young to leave a kid.
Wow, man.
Yeah, 2, no, we can't leave a kid.
Let's go to Minnesota, I think. Chris, what's up?
Hey, love your show.
Thank you.
Hey, Louis, I completely agree. To me, I think I'm just a dick for my wife. You know, I'm just a dick in the house.
Well, that one lost steam faster than you expected.
Yeah, I know.
He won't admit that he doesn't care about his wife either.
Yeah. No, to me, I'm just a dick to the wife, and so. Hey, Jimmy, got a question for you.
I'm sorry I did that. I'm embarrassed that I did that.
I did
Who is
that.
That's
Imus. His apology.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, Dave.
Use it now for embarrassing phone calls.
Let's try to get this back on the rails. Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
Oh, no, Louis, you're absolutely spot on. Same predicament here. You just go numb, man. You know, but I'm at the point where I couldn't give a fuck if my wife went out and got filled up with somebody else's cock custard. I'm done. Don't give a shit, man. I'm just holding on, waiting for the kids to graduate. Get the fuck out, man. I had my...
Oh, no, if my wife cheated on me, it would change nothing.
Yeah,
it really would.
You wouldn't leave her?
It would be leverage for just the little things during the day. That's all it would be.
You wouldn't leave her?
No, because I can't... I got plenty of reasons to do it now. I got kids. We want to stay together. We want to have the kids. And you know, and the thing is, the complex thing about it is that we share the kids, and that makes us happy together. Like we, as parents, we're fucking the best friends in the world. We watch our kids do fun shit, and it's hugely rewarding.
That's
the two of us.
Common denominator there.
Yeah, exactly. So like we'll be hissing at each other. I hate you. I'll never suck your dick again. Fuck you. You fucking whore. Oh look. Oh look what she did.
Oh my God.
Oh, isn't that cute? So we do, but that joy that we share with the kids, totally real, and it's actually making life worth living. So that's the thing that's complicated about it. When I pictured leaving, I'm not only sad to think of not being with my kids every day, which I am. I'm also sad about her. She's part of that. She's part of our...
You won't be able to share that with her.
No, that's bigger. And actually, you know, look, I'm almost 40. My dick is finally starting to get 8% less hard than it used to be. So like the fucking joy of having a family is starting to outweigh the sex a little bit. And that's kind of sad because it's like, you know, I'm not going to care that nobody fucks me in a couple of years.
Dude, I think
that makes me want to kill myself.
You ought to do it when she's laying there sleeping, start eating her ass like a fucking loon. Go in there and start eating her ass. She'll be like, this Lou is
She sleeps with the fucking children.
So I'd have to move my baby to the side.
Go like this. If the kid looks at you, go.
Oh, he inadvertently sticks his face in the baby's ass.
Wow, she's really she's been working out. She's toned up.
Let's go to Walter in Pennsylvania. Walter.
Oh, hi, guys. Love you. Love this.
Hello, Walter.
Thanks.
Guys, look, Louis C.K., I've been married 17 years. I got 3 kids. My oldest one is 14. My youngest is 10. I'm in therapy for the 3rd time.
Yeah.
We're together because of the kids. She's a teacher. I'm developing a girlfriend.
Developing a girlfriend.
I'm sorry, Louis. I don't know what to say. She's ignored me. I haven't had sex in 3 years. I get ignored. I'm a local truck driver. I don't know. We're in therapy, and
that's good though. You're talking about it, and it's also good that you're honest about how long it's been. Because whenever married guys compare, like how long has it been for you? Somebody goes 2 months, and now we all have to say 2 months because you lied.
Why it's been longer?
Of course it has. 2 months. What is your wife, a whore? That's unbelievable. 2 months. 2 months ago, I was thinking about what it was like 2 years ago.
When's the last time you banged? How long?
I don't fucking remember.
Honestly?
I think it was my birthday of last year, which is September. I actually think that's the last time that my dick touched vaginal.
Do you talk dirty?
Secretion. What?
When you fuck, do you talk dirty?
Talk dirty.
What kind of fuck? Like that's going to solve everything?
Yeah, it helps.
Color, cunt?
No,
and still fuck you more.
But I mean, like, you might want to open up a new door. Sometimes you open up a new door.
Yeah, sure.
We talk dirty at the supermarket. You fucking asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you open a new door and you both get addicted to it again. That's the way it is.
But
was the sex awful?
No, it was good.
It was good.
Every time we've had sex,
we've
we've never had sex where it wasn't fun. We have good sex.
But why not more often?
Too much other shit going on.
So why don't you just say, look, I want to get blown
in
in
a war zone. It's like trying to get blown into, Iraq and Fallujah.
Being shot at.
Start losing your heart on when you watch people's heads explode.
You have no fear, man. I like your honesty. It's unbelievable.
She doesn't have XM.
You're so right about the no kids thing, though, because in my situation, I had the job. That was my main focus. I had a brand new, exciting job that I always wanted to do, and that kind of made me stay in the marriage for as long as I did, because that I guess you could equate to the child in the marriage was my job. Right. After a while, I started realizing, oh my God, I am miserable with this woman, miserable, and have no reason to be with her, and. Then when I found a girlfriend, the girl I'm currently with, I was given an ultimatum by my wife who said, it's either me or her. And I cannot tell you how fast I ran out the fucking door that day, went to the phone, called up my girlfriend and said, I'm coming over.
It's us.
It's done.
Oh, God,
it's
that
done.
must have been awesome.
It was fucking awesome. It was the best. But her ultimatum didn't get out of her mouth, and it got me thinking, like, she actually spurred it in my head. It was like, yeah,
why wouldn't
it is her or you.
Well, that's the thing.
Why
is that
the fuck am I here? Goodbye.
When you're in a marriage without kids, it's about each other. It's like it's about this struggle of two people trying to figure each other out. When you have kids, that just goes away. You start parenting. As a matter of fact, the difference between one kid and two kids is huge.
Really?
Because one kid, you're both doing exactly the same thing all the time, that one kid. Which, by the way, deranges the kid's brain. Because the kid is a fucking, her face is like Beirut. It's a battleground of two fucked up, war-torn people.
Factions.
But then once you have two kids, you split off. And then you start fucking resenting. And again, I can put myself in her skin and go, I'm fucking killing that guy when he comes home. I mean, just shooting him right in the fucking face because she doesn't even have any distractions. So
you get out.
God,
why don't you just do this, Lou? I don't have kids, but why don't you just do this? So if you guys want to have sex, why don't you say, go in the other room, mommy and dad need some alone time. Go in there.
That's a great idea.
Go
in there.
Why don't you get her help?
What's that?
You're making a pretty good living. Get her a little help.
Fuck her, man. I need my money to buy porn at the fucking hotel and stay at the Ritz on the road.
You did tell that story. You stayed at the greatest hotel.
I stay at the best hotel in every town because fuck her.
And then has some kind of excuse why the money's not.
Yeah. No. Of course, she doesn't. Look, she's an attachment parent. Like she sleeps with the kids. It's a very. we have babysitters, but we never would have a nanny. I hate the idea of like a nanny living in the house, but you know, I've offered to her to have any help that she wants.
You should be on one of those kid shows where they like study you guys.
Nanny,
or whatever the nanny.
You know what the nanny show is fucking horse shit. Fucking cunt feed. Which doesn't even mean anything. I just wanted to say cunt. No, the thing is, if like we have a dog, we've had a dog trainer over. Any new person with treats will get your dog to do anything. Right. They leave, it's over. Fucking nice lady with an English accent starts talking to the kids, and
Mary
there's a camera
Poppins,
around.
Right? Yeah.
No.
It's Mary Poppins for it's like
when Mary Poppins left.
movie. When she leaves,
all hell breaks loose again. Hey, Mike in North Carolina, you got something for Louis C.K.?
Hey, Louis, what's going on, buddy?
Hey,
did you just say you had you're still breastfeeding a 2-year-old?
Yeah, my wife is. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever been to a grocery store? It's called Gerber's, man. That kid's probably walking around by now. What time are you going to cut that?
She
stuff
eats
up?
other food. She doesn't just drink breast milk. She'd have to drink like 6 gallons a day. No. She eats fucking hamburgers and French fries.
And just kind of washes it down
with some tit milk.
Mind if I have some of your tasted beverage to wash this down?
It's comfort. She does it for comfort. It's actually, it's good to breastfeed kids for a long time. There's nothing better than breastfeeding to grow a kid up confident. It's good for their brain. There's all kinds of shit. Yeah. But it's taken too long.
All right, Maria.
Yeah, 2 years is too long.
Maria, New York.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Just wanted to say how depressing it is. I'm going to be a year married in June, and I hope it doesn't happen that it happens to Louis.
When did you get married?
In June last year.
First time it's Ewan.
I think you said Ewan, but then you amended it, added a J.
Wait, it was, what month again?
June.
She is a Latina.
She's very...
Sí, yo soy Latina.
Maria.
And Louis...
Maria.
Yeah, ¿dónde estás?
¿Dónde estoy?
No, ¿dónde estás?
I love when they correct you. ¿Dónde estoy?
Yeah.
Where am I from? I'm from Uruguay.
Mm-hmm. Say something else in that language.
Uruguay.
Say something else.
Tu madre es un muy grande chihuahua.
I don't know. I never been there.
Faggot. That's Spanish for Jim.
All right, you're depressed.
Yeah. I am. I really listen to you guys because we are planning to have kids, and I just hope that...
That's the reason you listen to us?
No.
We help them come quick.
Yeah. Are you happy with your marriage?
We are.
You guys get along great?
Yes.
And you're going to have kids?
Yes.
Great. Good luck. Enjoy.
Godspeed.
All right, let's go to Mike in Vegas. Mike.
Yeah, I got a little something for you. Put it like this. I've been married for a long time, and my secret is you got to have someone else on the side, someone European.
All right, good. Someone with a hairy box.
All right, Steve in California. Steve.
Hey, Louis, guys, love you, love the show. I got to say, you guys have two of the greatest therapists on the air. You got Patrice for the single guys and Louis for the married guys, and then you got Jim for a sex counselor. Louis, I know what you're feeling. I've got 5 kids, been married about 18 years, and, you know, actually, I do have sex regularly. My wife and I went through some struggles, and it was painful.
Her pussy must look like the hood of a sweat jacket.
Nah, it's
the strings pulled, so it's all pruny around the edges.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that,
anyway,
sir.
guys, thanks.
Thank you.
Her twat must look like the fucking an upside down baseball cap. It looks like.
To me, the interesting thing is because we know a lot of couples that have been through this time that are now doing well.
Really?
We know a lot of... I've met people that have said what this guy said. He's 5 kids deep. He's still fucking, so he must have worked it out.
Did she make you laugh?
I'm amazed to think that this could work out and turn out to be
So there's a point down the line where supposedly this works out.
Yeah, and
you're a bit optimistic.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's happened to other people. That means not at all that it's going to happen to me.
You got to do a show on 202 just talking about marriage.
Sure.
You're dedicated, but it's out of, like, selfishness. Like, you're dedicated to this marriage, but it's out of selfishness because you enjoy the kids and...
Well, it's my responsibility. I have to be there. I have to be there for the kids. I think the kids need me in their lives. I don't think the kids would do well just with her.
So you're not. Well, that's kind of cool. Then it's not as selfish as it came off originally.
Did it come off as selfish?
No, I'm kidding.
Wait, Louis,
maybe it is. I don't know. I might be very selfish.
No.
I am a selfish person.
It just came off like the reason you're together is because you do enjoy the time with the kids and the wife when you're with the kids.
Right.
But there are some people that stay together just based on the sanctity of marriage.
Well, that's
I'm not giving up on this.
That can suck
that
my
kind of
mother's
shit.
bush all night. I don't give a shit about that. Sanctity of fuck you.
We'll get a couple more. Chris and Philly, what's up?
Hey, boys. Love you. Love the show.
Yeah.
I went through basically the same thing Louis going through. I was like, I just want to stay together just because I have a daughter. Then she became a real cunt. I was like, all right, we'll go to counseling. Maybe it'll work out. Went to one counseling session, and she's like, "You're not into it. You're just playing around." I was honestly trying to go. I was like, "All right, I want to stay together because of my daughter." Now, she's like, "We're done," and that was it. I was like, now she's being a cunt and trying to rape me for everything that I have.
Were you playing around?
No, not at all. I called her a couple times. I was going through my computer. And I said, let's see what she's been chatting about. Went back in the chat logs. Here she's talking to guys in Maryland.
Maryland?
Oh. Yeah.
Well, you know what they say about guys in Maryland.
That's right. Pants come off and the crab cakes come out.
Thanks, boys. Punch it out.
Hey, Lou, did your wife make you laugh?
No. Disgusting.
Does she make you laugh at all, your wife?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, she's funny.
It can be funny sometimes.
Important.
All right, Jeff the trucker. Jeff, what's up?
I don't fart in the studio, by the way.
I've
Never
been married
do.
about a
Never
year,
have.
and man, I'm already miserable. I was a local truck driver for a while, and she just completely changed when we got married. Just ragging on my ass about everything. And
married 1 year, he's miserable already.
Well, the thing is, any two people, you take two people and you put them in the same house. What the fuck are the odds that's going to work out? There's just no way. Like, it's this simple. Like, the person you're married to will always disappoint you because they're not you with a cunt. That's what I want her to be, is me with a cunt and no beard. That's it. I want to fuck myself. I want to make myself wet and fuck myself. That's all. Anything short of that is a drag. Your wife is a cunt. Your wife is a whore.
No.
You hate your wife.
I'm already going back on the road as over the road truck driver, so fuck it. I just hell, I can see more out here than I can at home anyway, and it's better looking anyway. So what the hell?
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Shh. It's Mrs. Jimmy.
Hello.
Here's another guy. He's only been married a year. Greg in D.C., what's up?
Hey, boys. First-time caller, long-time listener. Love everybody there.
Quack, quack.
Yeah. Hey, everything everybody's saying is just so hitting home right now. I just had a kid 3 months ago. I've been married for a year. Fucking knocked her up again by accident. She just had an abortion. We both agreed on it.
Attaboy.
The thing is,
got it under the wire.
I've always talked to my ex-girlfriends, no matter what.
Grandfather clause your late-term abortion in there.
Yeah. They fucking yanked the kid's arm out. There was a watch on it.
Oh, fuck. You guys are cruel, but I don't know, man. Really, keep talking, man. This shit is fucking good therapy for me because I just want to fuck it all, but I love my little girl. What can I do, I got to stick it out.
Yeah. No, and the thing to remember is that you have kids with a person, you're going to get it in a shitty thing. There's just no way out of it. Every marriage with kids is going to go to an awful place where you both want to leave. I don't think it's possible to not go there.
Wow.
I think anybody who tells you that they don't get there is lying to you.
What's important? Communication. You got to communicate.
Good one, Jim.
Communication's key.
What the fuck is it about this procreation thing?
Because it says fucking the stakes get high when these little people are around.
Why do people want to do it?
Oh, why do people want to procreate?
I don't get
I got
it.
no answer for that.
Why do people
when
they get
when
married?
me and my wife got pregnant, this is how it happened. All of our friends were having babies, and they all had to pay money to doctors and go through. Every single couple we knew went through we have been trying for a year and it hasn't worked. And now we have to do this, unplug her cunt tubes, whatever it is. And so my wife said, let's try to have a baby. And I didn't feel like having a debate. So I'm like, if you want to give it a try. Because I really believed in my mind, we'll try for a while. And then for right now, I can say yes and I can say no later. And I fucked her once with no condom on a decent day. And she got motherfucking pregnant.
You must have been like, Jesus Christ.
That's great, honey.
Oh my God, I was like, you got to be shitting me like that fast.
How long had you been married at that point?
We had been married for 99 to like a couple of years.
Just a couple of years.
Yeah. And then we had our daughter who, and I immediately fell in love with her on site.
Really?
Totally changed my life.
That
the instant I saw, that happened for me. The instant I saw her, I was like, I know what this is. I'm not going to run from this.
That's what everyone says.
Some people run from it from the day it happens. They're like, no, I ain't fucking a fucking diaper, no. And you see fathers that fight it their whole lives and they play golf on weekends. I'm not that guy. I love kids. I love the smell of baby shit. I honestly do. I fucking love watching them. You know, I've found out shit about myself by having kids. I'm a patient person. I didn't think I was.
Yeah.
I thought I was a selfish, impatient, anxious faggot. But I can sit and watch a kid try to tie their shoes and not let me help them when we have to get somewhere, and I can take a breath and deal with it and go, okay, no, go ahead.
Oh, wow,
you can try.
that is good.
Look, I can make a call and we can go later. It's not the end of the world. Go ahead.
Wow.
I found out that I have skills I didn't have, so it's been the greatest thing.
Wow.
The second kid, it was born because I wanted to stop an argument. That really is. A person exists in the world because I just wanted her to shut the fuck up for a minute. There's a person with a birth certificate who will have a future and a job, maybe be the president, because I was like, all right, the fuck. It's a fucking mistake, and I'm on record. Take off your pants, I'll fuck you. That's what the point.
How many times did that take? About
fucking instantaneous.
Amazingly
fucking came out her ass while I was fucking her in the puss.
You got super sperm.
Fucking, there was a kid and I was bumping my dick against her head before I was done.
Fertile.
Yeah.
Hey, Alex in Utah's got something. Alex.
Hey, guys, long-time listener, and I want to say that I've been married 10 years, got 2 kids, and me and my wife had a rough patch a few years ago. We went to a counselor, and this bitch of a counselor was just all over me, and then at the end of the counseling session, me and my wife were against the counselor, and we were calling her a bitch and everything else to her face.
And then you got back together. The best thing for a couple is hating other people together. That's huge.
Oh, absolutely. That counselor was such a bitch and a cunt that she needed to get her ass kicked. I was about ready to beat the hell out of her.
And your wife felt the same way.
You know what? We had the best sex that night. I mean, it was pure hate fucking, but you know what? It was the best shit in the world.
That's great.
There you go. Hate fucking.
All right.
Hate fucking is awesome.
It's time for the line of the day. Brought to you by BowDogFight.com. For all that's happening in the world of mixed martial arts, check out BowDogFight.com. We got lots of runner-up lines of the day today.
Ooh.
Here's the first one.
Yeah, but at least I can bottom out.
Can you? How big's your dick?
How big is my dick?
Yeah.
Well, you know,
big enough to bottom out an 11-year-old girl. Corpse.
There you go.
Corpse. An 11-year-old corpse.
That is horrid.
Here's another runner-up line of the day.
I've got 5 kids, been married about 18 years, and, you know, actually, I do have sex regularly. My wife and I went through some struggles, and it was painful.
Her pussy must look like the hood of a sweat jacket.
Let me get this out.
Hey, Mike in Virginia.
Yeah. Hey, Louis.
Yeah.
You're speaking my language. I had my second kid faked orgasms for a year and a half, so I didn't have to pop it out, settle an argument, and spent $15,000 on IVF.
How do you fake an orgasm? You're a guy.
Well, you just...
You kind of moan? What did you do?
Yeah. You pump a little harder.
Pissing her cunt?
So, you know, I got fucked, and I hate kids. See you.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, here's another runner-up line of the day, thanks to BowDogFight.com.
There it is again. The cunt kills me. Got my daughter saying it now.
Oh. It's all right. She'd have learned it from her husband someday anyway.
Is she saying, Daddy, stop fucking my...
Oh, my God.
Wow, this really got inappropriate.
Yeah.
That could be the worst thing I've ever heard anyone say on this show.
That's pretty bad.
Daddy, stop
and
fucking.
I like that the little girl that's asking to not be raped by her dad uses the word cunt.
Yeah.
Like, she's, you know... Daddy, please don't fuck my cunt, you old
he never
fag.
said... He never said how old she was.
That's true.
She could have been 20.
Yeah. Here's your line of the day. Thank you, BowDogFight.com.
Here comes the line of Line of the day.
Like, how long has it been for you? Somebody goes 2 months, and now we all have to say 2 months because you lied.
Why it's been longer?
Of course it has. 2 months. What is your wife, a whore? That's unbelievable. 2 months.
Wait for it.
Master Poe singing.
Yeah,
that's
nice.
Master Poe singing When Doves Cry.
We isolated his vocals from the music, and that was him doing Prince.
By the way, is he the guy who does that on the Prince song?
Yeah. Thank God we had the last half hour of the show, or there wouldn't have been.
Absolutely.
I know.
Any line of the day.
We were serious for like 3 hours today. Hey,
true.
From a very reliable source, Howard believes that Fox negated all his fans' votes to get Sanjaya out, and he wants an investigation immediately. What a fucking loser. What happened? Did Sanjaya get voted off? He finally got kicked off, yeah.
Finally.
And Howard thinks there's fraud. Howard thought he had the power to make him the American Idol winner. And so he thinks there's fraud. Yeah. While we're all talking about this shooting down there, of course he's worried about himself
There's
again.
fraud, all right.
Yeah. Who cares? Unbelievable. Let's get the plugs in. Louis, what do you got going on? Caroline's next weekend in New York City. Punchline this weekend in Atlanta, Georgia. And you can also buy Shameless, my HBO DVD on my special.
Yes.
Amazon, it's on pre-sale.
Amazon.
And I'll be
Jimmy.
Tomorrow night I'm heading up to Massachusetts.
You're going to be at
the Cradle of Liberty.
Yes.
Chicopee.
In Chicopee at the Comedy Connection. It's the Hookie Lao.
The Hookie Lao.
I'm only doing one show due to a complete lack of interest.
And let's talk about pre-sale tickets. So all day today. You just go to what, opieandanthony.com?
opieandanthony.com or myspace.com/opieandanthony. And there's a link that you can click on, and you can get the pre-sale tickets. They're sold out. I think the pre-sale tickets are sold out in Mohegan Sun.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
And then tickets go on sale tomorrow for everybody.
Yes, tomorrow, Friday wide.
Friday wide.
Are you just going to walk up to your girlfriend and point at your Kiss shirt?
Is that how it's going to work?
Go.
But first I got to set up like I got a question for you. Okay, what? It's like awkward. We're both shuffling because she knows I'm going to want physical contact that she fucking finds repulsive.
Oh, God. She's looking at that stream going, oh, God.
Oh, here
so
it
I'm like,
comes.
you know my favorite band? And I just kind of stood there waiting. She's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, you know.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, unfortunately I do.
I think God died on that day. I think he watched that and went, something I made did that. I can't take it anymore.
Oh, I like the feeling of like embarrassment I get when you tell that story. It's like a weird, like a bad thing. It's like I'm a cutter, and I need like that awkward, horrid feeling I get when you tell that story.
Do you get embarrassed for me when I tell the story?
I feel visceral, like I feel physical.
Yeah, it's like this weird feeling I get.
Because I can relate to it, and it's awful.
Yeah, everybody was a kid, did stupid shit.
But I mean,
like
as the day wore on and she didn't acknowledge it, I just was like, all right, I guess we're not gonna.
So you thought the day wore on, like you thought somewhere like 3 hours later she'd go,
yeah. Thought it was the Beatles, you dummy.
Yeah. Hey, they're waiting. We got a meeting. We got suits out there.
What?
So. Yeah, we got a quick little. So we got to go. Louis, thank you very much. Thanks a lot, guys. I had a lot of fun. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yes, Louis, thanks.
Hi, this is Jessica Simpson.
Hey, I'm Joey Fatone.
Hey, I'm Hillary Duff.
What's up, everybody? I'm Mariah Carey.
Hey, this is Michelle Branch.
None of those people have ever appeared on the Opie and Anthony Show.
Why don't you die in me?